I love my work.
You love your work?
I
Okay,
love
well,
my work.
I don't sorry, yeah, welcome back to the break room. This is a part 2 to you may never see a part 1, but it's alright, technical difficulties, but we're back to my homie, my comrade, my repeat champion, Miss Alba, what's up?
Hey.
Hey. So listen, what were we talking about just now before we got oh, you love your job, that's what you said. Why do you love your job? Why do you love what you do?
I love the flexibility. I love being able to help people, talk to people. I think for me, the worst thing right now for me is the hand holding and the fact that no one has common sense anymore. That's it.
You
That is it. I
you
have
are
to think outside the box.
You are correct, where common sense is a lost art. Last night, when we were speaking before, prior, we kind of touched upon the whole Gen Z tirade we had, tirade, where we talked about like work ethic amongst our children and Gen Z folks and how it's pretty much sometimes non-existent or the ability to endure. And it's funny because, like you're saying just now with work or just with in the professional world, I see the same thing in my field where you'll see folks who are just like giving minimal effort. Like this is a new phrase that's in the last few years. It's called quiet quitting. Have you heard this? And it's just like, yo, folks do the bare minimum today. Like, and they feel like, no, I gave you my all. It's like, no, I gave you
No,
nothing.
it's crazy. It kind of makes you think about work ethic and
Mhm.
how different things are now. Like, I remember before, like, at least for me, my job ends at 5, but I'm like on my phone. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm responding to emails, messages, whatever it is, even if it's after 5. Like, if I can help you and I am available, why not? I'm not in this, like, I'm only available 9 to 5.
Mm.
And there are people like that. Like, I've met people that are very, like, they don't have emails on their phone. They don't have work chats on their phone. I can't do that. I live on my phone and work is all my work apps are on my cell phone. Like, wherever
Yes.
I'm at, I'm dealing with work. Like, there's no way I can completely disconnect from work.
Yeah, it's to the point where like even on the weekends, if I hear that Outlook notification, whoosh, or not even a whoosh, it's like some like sound from Outlook app where my work stuff is, and you just hear like a certain chime. I'm like, shit, you're like Saturday afternoon, I know, but shit, what happened now? And it's like I'm always on go, always trying to make sure that my work and stuff around it is being handled with care and there's nothing that I can help contribute to because
Maybe we need boundaries, Mike. We may need better boundaries. Our
I
generation needs boundaries.
I know, but I mean, oh yeah, we need boundaries. We definitely
We're
need
too
boundaries.
nice.
We're too nice, but here it is. I can't speak to your parents, but with my parents, I guess some of my response to parenting kind of comes from as blessed and privileged as I was growing up, and how overall I had a great situation with my parents. For all things considered, there were some times where I was like, God damn, like I'm not gonna be like this to my children. Like I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna be more communicative, more open, less physical, less distant, more approachable, more trusting. And I feel like maybe I'm overcompensating at times for some things I wanted, I'm not reading the gauge right on when to pull back. You know what I'm saying?
It's interesting you say that because I feel like I've been feeling like that too. That it's like we sit here and we want to give them everything that we didn't have or things that we wanted. And then are we handicapping them
Mm,
by being that way, right? Like
mm.
not sitting there making them suffer. Like, oh, you need a pencil? I'll figure it out. Where are the pencils at? Like my kid needs a pencil, and I'm like, wait, there's no pencils, and I'm buying stacks of pens and pencils all over the house. Maybe they need some struggle.
Yeah, because it seemed like they can't handle adversity. They can't handle oppositional folks' critique, you know? It seems like our children nowadays, they need the most hand holding
It's
to
also that we're living in a sensitive world, as
yeah,
unfortunate as that is.
yes. And I'm glad you said that because I was me being born in 1985, by the time I was 5 years old, it was 1990. So when 1990 came, there was a popular variety show, a popular sketch show called In Living Color. And
Mhm.
it had the Wayne's family and Rosie Perez was the choreographer. And it was a very popular show for Fox 5 in the early 90s. Damon Wayans, one of the founders of the show, he had a sketch where he had a superhero character he created called Handyman. Right, and Handyman and a blue shirt, had the handicap silent chef, and he had his hands like this with a cape, and he was going around saving the world, but talking like, someone who is considered mentally challenged.
Mhm.
And the other day it came on somewhere on TV or maybe it was YouTube. I was like, we can't have this today. We
We
can't.
can't. We can't. Honestly, though, I am surprised South Park still exists
Yeah.
and Simpsons.
And Simpsons. Simpsons is like South Park makes Simpsons look like the Cosby Show at times. Because South Park was
Yeah,
crazy.
but I don't know. We live in a sensitive world. You can't even
Yeah.
talk
No.
anymore. Like, if someone asks me something, I'm like, "Wait, what? Huh?"
Yeah.
I can't respond to this.
No, no. I have a 19-year-old daughter, and I adopted when I was 5 years old from with my wife. I remember in like the COVID era, like 2020, whatever. She was entering high school, whatnot. She got very not political, but she got very like socioeconomically sensitive and fast. Like she got very like, what I mean? Like everything's a fight and everything is a battle. And, I have to be super duper one way as far as sensitivities and mindsets and ideologies. And there's very little room for like, humor and nuance and whatnot. It's
So,
like,
my son tried that. My
really?
15-year-old, he tried that with me during COVID because I was working out at home. I was doing PRX and he's always jumping and he has so much energy. And I'm like, oh my God, stop jumping like a monkey. And he goes, Mom, are you saying that because he's dark skinned? I was like, what? Who? Listen, child, we're not over here calling anyone animals because of any color skin. Like, are
Exactly.
you kidding me? Monkeys jump. What else am I gonna use as a reference?
Right. When you
You're
gotta,
doing jumping jacks.
yeah,
What are you gonna think of, Mike?
yeah,
A
like
monkey.
exactly. And my thing is, with that said example, a clear example of like we've got such we've gotten such ultra hypersensitive to make sure we don't look crazy. Well, sometimes we forget that nuance exists. And hey, I wasn't thinking that what you were thinking, bro. I'm thinking about this or whatever. And there's just everybody's on edge. Everybody's on edge. All the kids,
No,
kids,
I cut that real quick. I said, "Listen, I talk how I talk in my house. You have a problem with that, you need to figure it out. Because I'm not gonna sit here, walk on eggshells. What's gonna work for you, what's not gonna work for you because I'm not down. It's just not gonna
and
happen."
on top of that, I'll personalize this. I would say, listen, mind you, I'm Gandhi compared to what my parents were, the jokes my parents were making 20 years ago under their breath about my cousin over here or whatever. And this person's hair texture and whatever, their light skin. There were jokes, dude. I'm like, this is dark. I was 10 years old saying, that's dark.
Oh my god, did your family do that? Do you know when, like, newborns are born and the first thing they do is, like, touch the hair of the baby to see?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, that just
Absolutely. That, children's looks in the family, those are running jokes or inquiries when I was a kid and it was dark. I talk to my kids, I am Gandhi. I am Gandhi compared to what I grew up with. I've evolved for a whole generation. I guess I pretty much saved the world with the way I, was able
You
to
know
bring.
what? It's true now that you mention it, because my uncles were dark. My uncles,
I'm sure there was
my
jokes.
mom what? Oh my god, my uncle was evil. My uncle one of my uncles, he used to live with us briefly. He had this scary mask. It was like this blue monster with blue hair, and God forbid we wouldn't eat our food.
My God.
My uncle was like 6'3", and this man would be like, "Oh, you're not eating? What? No." We would be sleeping
Oh
and the
my
blue
God.
monster would come, Mike.
My
Do
God.
you
Blue
imagine doing
monster.
that to a child nowadays? They
My
would
God.
die. We would be in jail.
My God.
And the
Yup.
other day, I was talking to him. I was like, Theo, you still have the mask? He's like, oh, of course I have that mask. That mask brought me so much joy in my life. Like, oh.
Exactly, exactly. And we all understood that these are all jokes and jest or it's fun. Or on the flip side, this is some dark shit. I'm gonna grow from this. And we did. So I try to tell my kids, like, listen, don't judge me, all right? Like you just hypersensitive. And it's unfair almost, Al. It's unfair because almost every generation gets to an age where they say, where they're no longer cool. Or we get every year the older person is now more uncool. So I'm sure at one point my parents thought they were cool and my grandparents didn't get it, So it goes back all the time. But I truly feel like this sound biased for our generation, we truly are the last cool. And these kids afterwards,
I think so.
they're just like scared. They don't enjoy life. They don't date. They don't wild out. They don't get the mischief. They don't, they don't experience life to learn risk, you
But
know?
even as little as like ice skating, rollerblading, biking,
Yeah.
even swimming, like swimming has always been like a lot of people don't know how to swim in the city.
Mhm.
But come on, rollerblading, biking, like these are things that you attribute to being in the city. And no one, the ice skating rink is always empty.
Yeah.
Now, like the basketball courts, you don't see them as full as they were
No, not
before.
really.
Like no one's really interested in this stuff.
No, no, no. No, you know, it's funny. I used to live on 121st in Lexington on the east side. I think I was saying that last night. And, you know, this is like 2011, 2010, 2011, 2012. I used to love being on the 456. I used to love taking the train straight to 96th Street because there's a court on the east side,
Hmm.
right above the train. You know, that was to me the last, this is 15 years ago, the last few times where I could recognize it's a Sunday, it's sunny out, and people meant to come outside. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? To play. Because like now I drive, if I'm on the FDR and I gotta get off around that street, I always reminisce and look at the court, and I see no one's there now. Give me
No,
sometimes like no one's there. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're losing recipes.
it's sad.
It's sad. It's sad. But so, like I said, we started recording last night, but things went haywire. But it's okay because we were blessed enough with another day. And what I'm thinking is, I want to actually play a game with you, a questionnaire game about friendship. But before we do that, I do want to give you the opportunity again to explain an idea you have about helping your grandmother. So if you can tell, if reiterate to me, what were you came in yesterday, or
Yeah,
was it, yeah, yesterday?
it was yesterday.
Yeah.
So ideally, my grandma's losing her eyesight. My
Hmm.
grandma's turning 83 this year.
Hmm. God
And
bless.
I am reading a book to her and sending her the audios. So it's pretty
Mm.
much like I'm her audiobook. And I'm putting it on TikTok and I'm kind of just even helping myself with Spanish. Even though today I kind of looped in my cousin and I'm like, please, it can't just be my voice. So fingers crossed. He said, okay. I sent him a whole 20 pages, which is the first chapter. So I did the prologue yesterday, and today I'm supposed to do chapter one. And she's excited. So far, there's a dead body. I don't know whose dead body it is,
Oh my
but
god.
there's a dead body in the street.
Oh
So I'm
my
excited
god.
about that. And so I'm trying to get my cousin to kind of read a chapter so like that it kind of breaks out of the monotony. Maybe she'll like it if she hears my cousin on it. She'll be like, "Oh, he's invested too," and I can start that, and I can probably, like, grab my uncles or something
Oh my
and make it a whole family
like a whole
project.
network system.
So, interestingly enough, and I forgot to mention it to you yesterday, when I first did your recording, you gave me such a great idea with this Riverside app, and I started recording her. So, I bought a book that says like about my grandma, and I needed just little prompts because
Mhm,
sometimes you don't realize what you aren't asking that you should be asking.
mhm.
So this book gives me prompts on what to ask her, and I've been documenting whenever I go see her. I record on the Riverside app videos of us and me
Um,
asking her questions about her youth. So little by little, I've been just compiling a lot of videos of her, and this is just an extra thing that I can have to kind of talk to her about, which is
that
just different.
that's an awesome idea. I'm a big supporter of this. I told all my guys who are like, whether they're in their 30s, 20s, or 50s, you know, if your parents are still alive or grandparents or loved ones, at this day and time, you should start documenting them because they have wisdom.
You know what, Mike? I didn't get that opportunity with my grandma.
I'm sorry.
Because of the fact that she was so much older, and then by the time I was an adult and I realized what I was missing out on, she was already starting her dementia situation, and then I ended up being her caretaker. So I saw, and, like, now that I think about it, like, yeah, I have some videos, I have pictures, but in my heart, I wish I would have just had one recording of, "What do you think of me? What do you feel about me?" Like, just lay it out for me. Like what you expected. Did I meet your expectations? Are you proud? How much do you love me? And just to have that to go back to probably would have saved me so much heartache. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I
Because you
never asked her.
And, you said heartache, and I believe you because I've seen you over the years really publicly, a public outpour. You grieve her.
Yeah, every
You
day.
you express her so well. I remember last time we spoke, you have a tattoo or you have a something
Yeah,
else. Yeah. So
yes.
so
And
I
then the compass.
in the compass. I've seen your grief over her, and I've always felt it when I saw it, or I viewed it from you like, "Damn it, she's really going through that. She's really battling that grief," and I get it because she was such an influence to you. I wonder, do you trust, though, that she did all those things to your liking? Like, she did believe in you, that she did love you, that she did was proud of you? Do you
I
trust that?
do I do trust it, but, it's so different when you believe it and you feel it than when you hear it, like, it just hits different.
Mhm.
I know just because even till the end, like, she didn't remember me, but she knew I was somebody because she waited till I left before she passed. Like, she waited till I did the EKGs because she knew I wanted my tattoo. Like, she knew bits and pieces of it. Like, the fact that she passed away right after I did the EKG was kind of crazy for me. Like, damn, you waited for the machine to come?
Mhm.
um, and I think for me, I'm at peace. Like, I did all I could for her at the end. I do say this about grief. I remember someone came up to me in the church
Mhm.
and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna get better." Bullshit.
No, I don't believe that.
It never gets
Yeah,
better.
I don't
For me, at
know.
least, it feels like when someone steps on your chest and you feel this constant pressure, I
Mhm.
feel like that all the time. You learn to
Mhm.
live with the pressure on your chest. Like
Mhm.
something's missing, and I feel there's no time in my day that I won't go without thinking of her, saying, "Hey, hope you're good." You know what I mean? Like little things
Mhm.
like that. But I trust and believe that I did the best I could. She did the best she could. And we have our memories, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to make sure I have as many memories as I can with
Mhm.
my older generation as well as with my own children. They're
Mhm.
gonna probably hate me when they get big and tell their girlfriends or wives, "Oh, my mom was back shit crazy. All she wanted to do was do stuff every weekend."
Mhm.
But it's like, what do we have at the end of the day, right? Like, we're all in line. No one knows when it's their turn. No one knows when it's gonna happen. So why not enjoy it?
Man, you're making me think about a few things. Like, for instance, I'm thinking about my aunt who passed away 2020 in December 2020. Her birthday is Christmas, so I don't think she made it that year. I don't think she made it to her birthday. But in December 2020, she had passed away, and she had two older sons, older than me by a few years. And one of them, who she was close to both of them. But one of them, she could tell was a mama's boy almost.
Aw.
And one of my cousins, and I remember him telling me at the funeral, I think it was, or around the time of the funeral, he goes like, "Yo, if you think you know what pain is, you know, whatever she had going on with your mother," and I didn't have anything going on with my mother, or whatever you feel like one day you have something going on with your mom and you feel like you can't speak to her, kill that shit and call her. He was like, "'Cause the minute you don't get that choice no more, it fucking stops." And I'm paraphrasing, but he definitely reiterated the idea of like, when people are around and you have the opportunity to make it work and you care enough, you should do it. And yeah, I
So
get it.
you see, I'm gonna be very honest with you. When it comes to my elders, hands down, I will make an effort for my grandmother, my parents, anyone else, I can't guarantee it. Why? Right? Love my siblings to death, but if you're someone that's not going to add to my life and you're just gonna stress me out and you're just gonna be mad at me for no reason and you're just going to be jealous and you're just gonna be a nuisance to my life. I love you to death, but I love me more that I am going to walk away and I'm gonna let you do what you do,
Yeah.
right? But the only people that don't get that option are my parents and my grandparents. You're stuck with me.
Yeah, yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll get over it.
You are stuck with me. But everyone else is like, Mike, I've lost, like, I had this really, really cool friend and we had like over 16 years of friendship. We let something stupid get in between our friendship, and she just stopped talking to me. She didn't address it. She didn't come to me and say, "Hey, Alba, did you say this about me?" No. Was led to believe that I spoke about her. I never said anything about her. Her ex. was friends with that person. All the information that she would tell her ex, he would end up telling the other person. And then it was like this whole vicious cycle. So she thought it was for me. And instead of her coming to me and saying, "Hey, did you say this?" Didn't say anything. So I ended up reaching
Oh,
out. And she's like, "Oh, because you spoke about me, you didn't defend yourself." Excuse me. If you know me for 16 years, you know I'm not going to sit here and talk about you. And on top of that, if I did nothing wrong, I'm not defending myself. I am so
yeah. I get it. It making me think of this joke from this Dominican comedian. He's from Queens. His name is Ian Lara. Ian
what
Lara.
is it? What's the joke?
He was he said, and it's on YouTube. I can send it to you later. He was like, men and women communicate differently to their friends. And he was saying, like women have ex best friends. Like they mean more. Their friendships mean more. Where like it's like you could be like years, and then one day like, hey, where's so and so? Fuck that bitch. So whereas like guys is like we're so superficial and we're not deep. Where we just like have the same friends since 5 years old forever.
But I have those friends. Like I have friends. At my longest friendship is Jashira. Love her to death.
Mhm.
We've been friends since second grade.
Wow.
That's what, 6 years old? You're talking
I
about
am.
32 years of friendship?
Yeah, that's a lot. That's amazing. That's something to marvel at.
Yeah.
That
And
and
then
that
on top of those, I have my other group of friends that I know since I was in fifth grade. So we've all known each other through elementary school. I have elementary school friends. That's what I have. My
Sure.
tight knit circle are elementary school friends. I can call them at any time. They can call me at any time, and we're there. But for me to sit here and have to defend myself and have to defend the friendship, that is not happening. You either know me or you don't.
Especially in this, like I said, in this age of our life, where it's like I'm too tired to fight. I'm too tired. You can do drama in your 20s. Like I can't do drama. I'm too tired. My legs hurt. You mad at me? I'll see you when I see you, bro. Like I can't fight no more.
But you know what it is though at our age now? We can't make new friends, Mike. We can't. We don't have the energy to invest in new
No,
friendships.
no. Look, I gotta learn your mother's name at 41 years old. I should have come when I was 32. You should have come when I had a lot more energy then. The day parties. I was a great hang at 33 years old. But I always marvel at people who are in our age bracket. I guess they're single. They want to be outside. They want to be moving around. They want to be in motion. It's like, yo, you were older than me.
I can do that though, Mike. I can do that. But I have
Yeah,
my limits, right? Like if you're gonna invite me to a club, I'm not really interested.
I feel
But
you.
tell me you wanna go hiking, I'm down. You wanna go paddleboarding,
But
I'm down.
they want to be in the streets. You know
You
that.
wanna be in the street?
In the streets. They love it.
Not the same.
They love it. Some people love the streets even when they're older. I'm like, "Why are you in the streets? Should have been graduated." No, I'm here.
The thing with me in the street, I don't mind it. It's just if I have a choice, I'm not doing it. Like the times I've had to end up being in the street, it's because I'm someone's designated driver. I'm the person that's has the vehicle, but I'm not no, like tell me we're gonna go out, do something during the day. Tell me that I'm gonna go paddleboarding or go to an amusement park or something outdoorsy. I'm down.
Well, that's my measure of going out. Listen, if you invited me out somewhere, it better be artsy or it better be healthy. It better taste good, or maybe it tastes good, or maybe it's a once in a lifetime exhilarating thing.
Oh wait, no, and you have curfew. You have curfew because
And
you
on
have
top of
to
all
get
that,
home before the baby goes to
and
sleep.
whether it's one of those four things, I better be home by 10:03. That's the most you can do. Like 10:03. Like I better walk in and see the 10 o'clock news on Fox 5 just in time. All right, let me get undressed. And even that's late because typically I'd already be in bed to watch the 10 o'clock news. Oh, snap, the weather tomorrow. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
yeah. No, because then you also have kids, right? Like I have my 4-year-old. At some point, he starts, "Where's my mom? It's nighttime. Where's she at?"
Mhm. Forget about it. Are you kidding me? Forget about it. These kids are on top of you. And, I gave my 19-year-old, like all the kids,
Your 19-year-old
I
is on
I
you?
no, I get my 19-year-old well, her, so they're all on me. But we have a group chat as a family and they have our locations. So we'll be out having dinner somewhere. It's 9:59 and you're still on Bronxdale Avenue. When are you coming home? That dinner should I mean that restaurant should be closed soon.
Oh my
like clocking at the restaurant. Like, my PO, what's going on? I'm on parole here. So that's how these kids are. They feel like they own you and they feel like they gotta clock you and we need you for entertainment or safety. And I get it, but Jesus Christ, it goes back to Gen Z where they're not going outside no more. So if I'm not outside, why are you outside?
They have too much time on their hands. We need to figure it out.
Too much time on their hands. Too much time on their hands. That's why they're over there
Yeah.
at Bay. That's why they're in Bay Plaza crashing the mall. There's so much pent up angst. They crash out in the mall. When no, if you just go out on a date on Friday night, then you go hiking on Saturday afternoon, and then you go pickleball on Sunday with your boy. You have a 3 day of different activities where you exhausted energy. You had a date.
No.
It's just like you have to live a diverse life to let that angst go. If you just pent it up and go to the mall, Bay Plaza, and crash out, that's not
Yeah,
how you
but
do it.
come on, Bay Plaza though, out of all the malls they could have gone to?
These kids have no taste either. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, did you see that the Palisades was sold?
It was sold. It was sold. Well, I guess they had money woes for a while now, which is interesting. But they were sold, and I guess they were sold to the community.
Wasn't it the debt? The person who created, like, who did the loan ended up buying back?
Apparently, something like that.
Something like that?
Something like that. It's confusing. I barely read the articles about it. My thing is, how could you flop with the? Well, you know what?
It's so big.
You,
Dude, but it's so big. It
but
has so many stores.
but you know what though? Maybe there's a reason why. My middle daughter, Lauren, the 9-year-old, she has so many freaking friends. And every freaking week, there's a birthday party to go to. Jesus Christ. Let's go to Sky Zone. Now let's go to Hell Zone.
Well, you know they opened the Sky Zone now in Yonkers.
Right. Yonkers. Or let's go to, no. It's a kids version. It's not Sky Zone. It's like a jumping place where they're just jumping.
Urban Air.
Urban Air.
Urban Air's hot. I like Urban Air.
I know, but every weekend with different kids.
Yeah, I don't know about
like,
that.
so like there's been 4 birthday parties.
Do you jump when you go?
First time maybe, but afterwards I'm like, listen, I'm washed. Let me just sit down and wait for you. You know what I'm saying? You know that sad, depressed parenting moment where you're like at a kid's birthday party, you're like, how long is this shit? Oh, we just got here. Oh, damn. All right. It's a short month. It's 28 days. And 28
It's over.
it's,
Mike, it's over. It's over.
it's over, and already she's had 4 birthday parties this month. You only have 3 weeks and a half. So it just showed you like these kids with their little birthday parties, they be having like just a social life of party. It's just me the hell off. I forgot why I brought it up initially. There was a reason why I brought up the birthday part. Oh, the mall. Oh, speaking of those parties, speaking of it, maybe like last weekend, and I love you, Kaden, and I love you, Blenda. You got the best. We had to go to the American Dream Mall in New Jersey for a birthday party. Look at an arcade spot, classic arcade spot,
Mhm.
where they serve food and have parties.
Like a Dave and Buster's?
I guess so. I guess so.
Okay.
But it's in the American Dream Mall. And the American Dream Mall, I don't know if you've been there yet, but it's right across the street from Giant Stadium.
MetLife.
MetLife Stadium. And there's it's like a indoor pool inside, indoor water park. There's
I've been to it. That's my favorite place. That's where I go.
okay, but my thing is, okay, but you say that, and it's fairly new, maybe in the last 10 years it's been available, it's been open, I guess. You
I think it opened during COVID.
so you say that.
Mhm.
But 20 years ago, I worked at Home Depot in Paramus, New Jersey, on Route 17. And at that time, you have the Garden State Mall.
Yeah, but there's nothing like American Dream.
But here's my thing. I agree. No, I agree. They went in. It's a mall on steroids. Like it's a mall on steroids. But I said it to say this: how can Palisades survive? Where like if you go just 20 more minutes up the highway, you can get either a Garden State Mall if you're lazy, or
Yeah.
push further. There's too many malls close by.
But Garden State is nothing compared to Palisades though. There's no way. I think for me, Garden State is the last mall I would visit. I go towards Garden State if I'm going towards IKEA. That's Garden State's selling point, IKEA.
That's true.
But if I'm going to a mall to go shopping, I do like Elizabeth, the outlet mall.
So I'm not shocked that the Palisades has lost money because it's like there's too many options today. Mind you, we haven't even spoken about the online
The online
shopping.
shopping.
We're
Yeah.
like it kind of kills brick and mortar altogether, brick and mortar stores, the old school stores. But it's just I'm not shocked that about Palisades is having money issues. But at the same time, I was like, damn, y'all supposed to service at least Rockland. You're supposed to service at least Rockland community. People in Rockland not shopping anymore, you know? And they're,
Yeah.
is everybody broke? Because times are rough though, Al. If you notice, times are rough.
No, yeah, I agree. You go and buy bread, milk, and cold cuts. $100.
Yes, yes, exactly.
So yeah.
So I can't say I'm shocked, but it is shocking to say or to see that. Damn. But you know what? A few years ago, J.C. Penney in certain areas went out of
Mhm.
business, and I was like,
That's how you feel? What happened to PC Richards? Do you remember PC Richards or Sears?
P.C. Richards, Sears was a big one. When I saw Sears go down, I was like, damn. Seeing Sears go down was like seeing Godzilla like fall to the ground. It's like, damn, they got you too?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, people are broke more than ever. There was a lot of frivolous money being spent, 20, 30 years ago. But now the last 10 years,
I think it's also online shopping. I definitely do.
yeah,
Between like Amazon, the Prime, shipping. It's like,
yeah.
why go anywhere?
Man, when I go outside, like I click a button and in 8 hours it'll be. But
Sometimes.
sometimes, but you know what? I have to say, I do feel sometimes guilty seeing these Amazon delivery workers just like late at night or early in the morning just dropping stuff off. I'm like, damn. It's like, I'm like,
No, Mike, when they have that 4 a.m. window, it's like 4 to 8 a.m.
yeah, someone is coming to my house at 4 a.m. potentially. Do they pay you in peanuts? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, but think about it, Mike. That can be a parent working before her kids need to go to school.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they accommodate all these different time frames, I love it.
That is true. That is a very so much so glass half full, and rightfully so, moment where it's an opportunity. It is an
Yeah.
opportunity to say, all
It
right,
could
well,
even be a second job, right? Like
yeah.
if I start work at 9 and I can make
What?
deliveries from 4 to 8, 4 to 7, I'm potentially doing 2 jobs.
I have colleagues who have told me that, in between time and out, they're doing Lyft, they're doing all the
I know a lot of people are doing Uber too.
Uber,
Lyft, Uber,
or they're doing the
Grubhub.
Grubhub. Yeah, they're doing that. They're delivering food.
I would just, I would think of it. Except I would like die of embarrassment if I touch somebody's house that I know and then have someone tip me. I'm just gonna die. No. Like,
so,
no.
so you're on the highway like, what he got?
But like, think about it, Mike. Think about it. I go to your house and I deliver a meal. What do you tip me?
You
Because I'm
deli-
gonna know what you tip me. So what do you tip me?
well, I'm tipping you. Well, I'm tipping you correctly. I'm tipping you
But
always.
no, but imagine you're not gonna give me $2. You're not gonna give me $5
Hell no.
because you're gonna know.
I'm like, hold up.
No, it's just too much. I
What she
can't.
take? What she do to my fries? What she do to my beer? What she did? Is that a sip cracked open? I, I would imagine.
Like I would just be die of embarrassment at
I would,
that
I,
point.
I would imagine. Yo, you want me to order? You want me to pick up fries for you? And you expect me not to have some on the way there? I gotta have at least one fry. Are you kidding me? You can't. You can't play the music in front of me. I'm not gonna dance. Like this
Oh my
is
god, imagine some McDonald's fries. I would so grab some
this
McDonald's
is
fries.
like temptation. Are you
Yes.
kidding me? So shout out to all the drivers out there, even the ones who dip into food. But no, I do. You're right. It can bring a sense of opportunity to the workforce and the people. So that's a glass half full for sure. For sure. That's hilarious, by the way. I
But
was not.
no, deliver you your food.
I was not even like doing deliveries. Like, oh, Reese's Pieces. We got to break this off.
Mm. No,
Oh my God. Well, you know what? Let's get to this questionnaire, brother, because I was telling you how, like, what we can do. It's a little questionnaire, and I'll share the screen for us, where we can either take turns asking questions. You can do it in blocks, like I ask five and you ask five. You can pick any ones you want, of course, that apply appropriately, or that you feel that you, as a question, the asker is really interested in having this answered. Oh shoot, your call's in another window. Okay. So right now, I share the screen of the questions. It's a question, pretty much questionnaire to get to know each other and also just pick our brain about a few things. So my question is, do you want to go first, or should I? I think you
you
should.
can.
So I'll ask you. So you know what? Right now we're in the list. I'm reading it right now. Choose any 21 or more of the following queries for your 21 questions game. Okay, so there's a lot of questions, Alba. I'm looking right now. 1 through
Holy snap! I'm
go
thinking.
And listen, I'm sorry, that's different. So really, it's 115. The rest is for like couples or some other shit. So this is the
Okay.
friendship. The friendship portion is 115. I think I saw. Let me see. Oh, all right, went up too much. But yeah, it's like 115. I think it was. Let me see.
Okay.
115. So from question one to through 115, we can take turns asking each other various questions. And listen, I promise to be as forthcoming, honest, and vulnerable.
Same here. Same here.
And I promise to give you my truth or my interpretation of the truth. So help me God. Inshallah for all my Arab people in Ramadan. You ready?
Good.
All right. Number four. What's the very first memory you think of when you think about fun childhood memories?
We used to grab mice.
Hold on. Let me un, let me unshare the screen for this one. You used to what mice?
We used to grab them. So
Grab mice. Why would you grab mice?
we just wanted a pet and they didn't want to give us a pet.
Were you in Honduras or Venezuela or were you here?
I was in the United States of America
Oh
in New
God.
York City,
Oh my
Harlem, okay?
God. I think you're out of
So
town or
I don't know if you remember the old school traps that people would grab the mice and they would throw it out the window,
oh my God. Old school
right?
traps.
Yes, the old school traps. So in my building, there's
Oh
like
my
this
God.
alleyway. So my cousins and I would go up and down the fire escapes. Like we're like super cool because this is what we do. We would climb up and down the fire escapes and we would find these traps. And we would release the mice and have a little like plaything for them. We got a shoebox and we put a little bed.
Oh my God. How old were you when this was going on?
I'm going to say maybe 7.
My God. I'm climbing a fire escape at 7 years old, finding traps of mice.
Yeah,
And
because we also used it as a form of transportation because my grandfather lived on the 3rd floor on the other side of the building. So I would go down my fire escape and go up his fire escape to go to the 3rd
ah,
floor. So we would just travel on the fire escape.
oh my God.
This just goes to show how much children were not babied back then.
That's some NYC shit. It's crazy. We had a blizzard this past weekend, and I saw videos here and there of just like little mice and rats just hopping in down the snow. I said, "Damn, we
Yeah,
can't enjoy the
but
snow."
tell me to grab a mouse now. That's not
I
happening.
want what
I'm running
changed?
away. I'm running away.
What changed? Mouse
I'm
lover.
running away.
What changed? Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse. What happened?
I don't know, but my cousin would put in her little shirt, and then I would come up, and we
Oh
would
my
put it in.
God. Oh,
Yes,
oh,
that's my funniest childhood memory.
the screen for you. Oh my God. You are a mouse hop. It's funny. Michael Jackson, when he was like 11 years old, he had a famous single as a solo artist called Ben, and it was about a mouse that was killed by his parents or his father in their home. So he had a song called Ben, the two of us, and he had a song dedicated to a rat.
Oh my god, I didn't know. Okay, I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to listen
It's
to
a
that
very
now.
famous song by Michael Jackson. He was like 11, 12 years old. He was young, yeah. You
Okay.
and Michael Jackson, something in common. There you go. You love
Hey,
rats.
at least I wasn't killing them, Mike. Then that would be a whole different
No,
story
then
we'd
you'd
be
be
talking
John. Then
about.
you'd be John Wayne Gacy, and you'd be all these serial killers.
All right. I have one for you. So
Uh,
number 8, what's your favorite movie to watch over and over again and why?
movie, not TV series. Movie.
Movie.
What's my favorite movie to watch over and over? There's a few. The reason why there's a few because I am a self-declared cinephile. A cinephile is someone who loves film,
Okay.
loves film. And I'm a cinephile. I watch various types of films. So I'll give you a few. I know for a fact they come into my life over and over again. In the last 25 years, I've watched Vanilla Sky over and over and over again.
Okay.
Vanilla Sky is a Tom Cruise movie. It's a remake of a Mexican movie called Abre los Ojos, Open Your Eyes. They both films, the original in Mexico, and the remake in 2001 with Tom Cruise. They both feature Penelope Cruz, the Spanish actress from Spain. Um,
Is this because Penelope Cruz is your celebrity crush?
no, she's too skinny, and I don't body shame guys. I'm sorry, I do not body shame, but I never was into skinny women.
Okay.
I need neither. We need a little cushion for the pushing or a little, you know, a little on the grab. Oh, no, it's a great story, and if you haven't seen it yet, Al, go watch Vanilla Sky.
I know this guy.
You have to ask yourself, what is the meaning of a good life or a well-lived life? How do consequences affect me?
Mhm.
So that's one, Vanilla Sky for sure. I can watch that any day of the week. Another movie, an Adam Sandler movie, I could watch any
Oh,
day
yes.
of the week because something about you should know about me, Al. I love rom-coms. Rom-com is probably my favorite genre.
51st Dates?
Okay, same cast. Well, 51st Dates is Usher's Confession and The Wedding Singer, also with Drew Barrymore, Adam Sandler.
Mhm.
That's like A701. So this
Okay.
with Usher, sometimes an artist will have two albums was like, damn, which one's better? Depends on my mood. You know what I'm saying? Depends on how I feel that day. That's
Hmm.
Usher. Usher has A701, and he also has Confessions, where it's like, God damn, these are both incredible albums. I can't choose which one is better than the other. But that you brought up 51st Dates. Sometimes for me, it is 51st Dates. Because the chemistry between Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore is
Was
amazing.
awesome. Yes.
Amazing. But they should do movies every 2 years. Like, fuck it.
It really should.
I'll be there. All right, I'm watching. They have great chemistry.
They do.
What movie they did Wedding Singer first. They did 51st Dates, and they did another one later on called something with the families, with the family blended. My
No,
wife,
yeah, they have really good chemistry
yeah.
on screen. They're really good.
But for me, sometimes, I'm a music head. That Wedding Singer, just the fact that they're making inside jokes with 80s pop culture, 80s music. Adam Sandler, he gets stood up by his fiance at the altar. So then later on that night, the fiance comes to the house to apologize, and his nephew's like, "Julia, you're a bitch." It's like little jokes here and there. And at
Yeah.
the same time, Drew Barrymore has some of the best charisma I've ever seen from an actress. So it just works together at movies. Whenever that's on, I'm like, oh, I can watch that.
No, yeah.
I'll clear my schedule for like an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? But same thing with 51st Dates. I think 51st Dates is a sweeter story. Oh, could you do that, Al? If your partner got a bump on the head and for the rest of your life, you have to convince them daily that you are in love with me and I'm in love with you. And you'll forget by nightfall, but here I am today, proving to you why you love me. Could you do that?
I would. I think I would be able to do that. But because of age, I've realized that a lot of it depends, right? If you start a relationship and there's no drama and there's no resentment, you can fall in love with the same person over and over,
Mhm.
right? But if you harbor bad feelings, there's no way.
Mm.
You forget me, bye.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if we're on bad,
But in
if we're
like
on,
an ideal world, and there are relationships that are awesome and perfect and no drama, and they start off amazing and they continue to develop and grow, of course. But if you have something in there that's just like, it's
it's
just like what they say, Mike, when you
what
grow old, who's gonna take care of you, right?
right.
So if you've been a jerk to your spouse, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. For me, I hear you. But for me, entiendo todo. I hear you. Um, I feel if we're on bad terms and you get a head injury, damn, I hope to God I owed you money during that time because now I can get rid of you and not have to pay you back. It's positive.
No, but it's true. No, like it sucks, right? Like maybe that's just me. I'm grudgeful and I'm resentful and I hold like you hurt me, like it's done, like there's no coming back from that.
Yeah.
But there are people that are genuine and can forget things, but I'm not this naive anymore about love, right? So for me it's like
People people think forgiveness means you have to forget. I never liked that. I never understood that.
no, but this is the thing though, Mike, right? It's not about forgiving and forgetting. That's not it. It's if you're going to still be with that person, then it's under the idea that you're forgiving them and you're letting it go. If you cannot let go of something someone did to you, then let that person go. Because then every day it's going to be a reminder of, oh my God, they did this to me. They did that to me. Then you're being miserable. You're making that person miserable and you're not moving forward. So if you can let go and forget, then let that person go. And I think that's what people don't understand. It's not forgive and forget. It's you're forgiving and you're letting go to grow and be better. Now, if you cannot forget, then let that person go and do you and start over, because it's like what we were talking about earlier about these men that kill women and women that kill men and all this stuff. There's so many other people in the world.
Yeah, funny efficiency.
You
Yeah,
might end up ending a relationship that didn't work out, that wasn't meant for you. And then you might end up finding the person that completes you and who you are with the rest of your life.
yeah,
Why subject yourself to being miserable for more time just because you don't want that person to be happy? Well, guess what? She's not happy. You're not happy. What are you doing?
right, right, right. Sometimes people will rather spread hate or live in depression versus advocate for themselves or spreading
Mm-hmm.
positivity. They choose pain before pleasure.
Why? No, I
Uh,
am not going to be miserable. You know what, Mike? At my 38 years of life, I am not gonna be miserable. You
yeah,
wanna be miserable? I will be out. Have
right.
fun.
I agree.
Um,
I
for
feel you.
what? For
I feel you.
what?
I feel you. I feel you. That was a good question. I feel you. So yeah, I would say Vanilla Sky. I would say Wedding Singer or 50 First Date. It's a good addition you brought in there. And I would say, damn, a movie. I don't know. I think that's it. I think that's it. There's a few others out there I watch a lot. I love to watch this movie called Heat. Heat a lot
Okay.
with Al
Mhm.
Pacino and Robert De Niro. And the reason why I like watching that movie is because it's a movie based on about a cop versus a bank robber, and the cop is trying to find and stop the bank robber who's doing mass heists in LA. A lot of heists and robberies are doing. And there's a scene where De Niro's character, he's the criminal, he's the infamous bank robber. He's having to sit down with the detective Al Pacino. They're adversaries, but they're having the coffee together. Filling each other out. He said, like, if I feel the heat around the corner, it's my discipline. I hate to drop what I'm doing and leave within 30 seconds. And there's a discipline there of like, the character tries to institute throughout the movie of like, no matter what happens, I have to move forward. If you're not with me, you're a liability. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
even when he meets a love interest, and a woman tried to come on to him, he's still taken back by it. And she asked him, "Are you lonely?" And he goes, "I'm alone, but I'm not lonely." And he's trying to let her know that like, no matter what happens, I have to do my best to be okay, even if I'm by myself, because other people can bring you down. And
That's true.
I learned that growing up. Like, damn, as much as I love friends, as much as I love to have allies and people around me, I do know a lot of my success will come upon what I do. You know,
So, there's a saying in Spanish. So the translation is pretty much no one wants to see pretty eyes on someone else's face. So success looks great when it's not on someone else,
right,
pretty much, right? So a
right,
lot of that is realizing that not everyone that you're friends with will want the best for you. And I think as children, as teenagers, when we're growing up, young adults, we don't realize that. And I just finished reading a book. It's called The Let Them Theory.
mm,
And in this book, it's a really good book. If you ever just want something to read just
mhm,
to kind of ease your mind. So this book, it kind of explains to you the different types of friendships, right? You
mhm,
have friends that want the best for you,
right,
and then you have other friends that I call haters
yes,
because, yeah, they tell you, oh, yeah, you're doing so good. Selfishly, they're like, wait, but why are they doing better than I am?
right. I've seen that. I've seen that. I've seen that. They are. I don't know if they are unhappy with their own stuff and their own either limitations or potential that they're not reaching, and
Yeah.
they apply to you. Because to your point, I felt some of that, and I've also felt like I don't know, you are out, but I'm super God deep when it comes to my peer groups. I try to be someone who could be approachable and apathetic and empathetic and someone who's approachable. There's a lot of people out there who are walking around miserable in some of their misfortune, whether it was their fault or not. They haven't learned to cope with it yet. I have a lot of demons, I do, and I have
I
my
feel
own,
like we all do.
but
But
I
it's
I know
about
it. I know it, and I know it. Like I am aware of it, and I do check myself. Like, oh, well, I'm out there. I could have done better, or I slapped here, or I shouldn't have had that last fry, or whatever. Like there's different instances where I've been checking myself. Like that's on me. Well, I feel like a lot of these people they don't see themselves.
I think it's a lot of being the victim versus the survivor, right?
Mhm.
You have to be able to acknowledge this happened, this is currently happening. I'm going to do better. I'm gonna be better. Versus, oh my God, the world is ending. Why does this keep happening to me?
Woe is
It's
me.
all about perspective, right? Like, if you change your viewpoint to be something positive, then the
Mhm.
likelihood of something positive happening will happen. But if the whole time you're like depressed and wallowing in the bad, you're only gonna bring bad.
Right, right. I've definitely had friends, and not just friends, people in my life, family too, who drained me early in my life. I felt like I was fighting for their life more than they were.
Yeah.
I was caring more about their life than they were. And I would say things to them that they asked for in so many words as advice or advisory, and they would just either go against it or make excuses for poor
Yeah.
choices. And I'm like, even if you make poor choices, but you own it, fine. But if you're not owning it, then we you want me to expel my energy. That's all. You want me to waste time, and I don't have time to waste, especially my 40s. But but let me yeah, especially now, like my back hurts too much. But now it's my turn to ask you a question, I believe. So you actually number 8, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's an in-depth question. I won't say, but no, I won't ask that one. Okay. Okay. I cannot say it either. I'll ask one. It's a macro question. It's a big question. You might think about it, but you may know. And we kind of touched upon this last night from my perspective, but it's not my biggest. But for you, if it's your
My
thing.
biggest fear, drowning and being on fire.
You did mention that last night. Damn it. You
Yeah,
mentioned that
drowning and being
last.
on fire because there's no way I can consciously know I'm dying and do
You
nothing about it.
did
Like,
mention
that
that,
has to
yes.
be the worst torture.
Yeah, you're right. You just mentioned that yesterday. Damn it. Yes, your biggest fear is either drowning or being on fire. Yes, you did mention that. I'm always curious though when people say that drowning is a excruciating death. I need to do the research of how they know that because who comes back from the dead? Because that sucked.
I don't think it's about coming back from the dead. I think you reach a point where they remove as much oxygen and they try to hold you down as much as possible to the point that you can lose consciousness, right? But not
Mm,
completely die.
mm,
And then they can sit there and tell you about that experience, right? Like if
mm,
someone sits there and tries to suffocate you, right?
mm.
Have you
Oh
ever
yeah.
been in a headlock
Yeah, I can say so. Yeah, I can say so. Yeah.
to the point of unconsciousness or no?
Yeah, 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 and, it's funny you say that because there was a game boys are stupid. Boys are stupid. There was a game in
Okay,
junior
I
yes, boys are stupid, and the reason why I say that is because in the late '90s in junior high school, there was a game being played amongst guys where we would put, we would put our hands on our friends' necks and try to tire them out after a few seconds, and usually this worked a few times. The person would drop and lose consciousness, and you wake them up. This was a game being played amongst young men. I forget the name of it, but you out there, the
what
young
happened
guy.
to the person just
No, no, we went full homicidal mode in the late '90s. Like we were choking our friends out in the
Yeah, I
classroom, mind you.
never saw that
In the
ever.
classroom. Oh yeah, this is the high thing. In the classroom, mind you, we were doing this and trying to choke each other out. And sometimes somebody would pass out and you wake them up like, oh snap, what would it feel like? So that was going on. So I
I
guess I
even
could.
remember the eye thing. Do you
Oh,
grab the
that, well,
eyelid?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I won't do it now, but yeah, I could do that. That was a weird thing. I wish someone taught me to keep the hair thing. Keep the hair thing. Yeah. Can you teach me that in '99?
When did you start losing your hair?
Yo, okay, okay, okay. So it's okay, okay. So in '05, I'm 20 years old, so I'm still a baby. My hair's fine. I want to say by '09, 24 years old, I started noticing a little thinning. Actually, I'm lying.
Where? Where? Thinning in the front, the middle, the back?
First, it was like the center, a little bit. You can see like this a little bit, and then slowly the hairlines, parts of the hairline, were truly like disappearing. Like Thor, not Thor. What man's name in Marvel and Avengers? Thanos. Like Thanos just snapped my hair away, or like parts of my hairline. I have pictures I can show you. Parts of my
Mm.
hairline I would document it would like escape me, where I would have half the hairline stop and then more. And my corners were slowly going back. And this is before 25 years old, or maybe 25, 2010. And mind you, to this day, I see dudes in their 50s and 60s with a full head of hair. And I'm like, you are an evil bastard. You sold your soul for that hair. Like there's no other way. You sold your motherfucker. You sold your soul. Devil is getting my hair. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no way at times, but no, early in the game. And at
When did you
first,
decide to go bald?
probably 2012, so rather early. Because some dude they wait. Some dudes are in their 60s and still waiting.
Well, you have Trump. You don't see he has like the
Yeah,
whole.
but you know, white folks are different. White cats are different. White dudes, whether it's Bruce Willis, whether it's there's so many whether famous people or ordinary white dudes, they can sort of get away, well, less likely now, but historically, they could get away with like the hair on the round, but no hair up top. Something about white
Doesn't
dudes.
LeBron also have like implants or something?
Well, LeBron, it's just today, it's very light almost. He's finally starting to accept it. It's very light today, and you can tell it's just like many like cactus trees amongst like vast deserts. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Okay.
know, like little cactus trees there and there. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's gone. But you know, male like having hair in your head, especially a full head of hair, it gives you an excuse, like I said earlier, but off air we talked about this. It gives you an excuse to like, you know, get your hair done, go to the barbershop, try new styles, open up in the barbershop, listen to new
I
jokes.
don't know. I don't agree with this analogy because I have 4 sons, 2 of which have really long hair, as long as mine, if not longer. And they're not about the barbershop life, Mike.
I believe you. There are folks out there who have the long Rico Suave hair, and they're like, a hippie. I'm a gamer. I'm Bohemian. Or
Yeah,
I'm different.
like, I
Or I'm
know.
different. So I'm not going to barbershop. But there's a style of dude. There's a style of dude who wants to still go have that experience in the barbershop. Listen, you have a good barber. Listen, I know dudes who will not cheat on their barber before they
Oh, no,
cheat on their
I
wife.
know some of those guys.
I know guys who will stay loyal. You need to Staten Island? I'll be there on Saturday. Don't worry, I got you.
Yes!
I know dudes who are loyal to their barber.
They will drive
Loyal.
hours, hours.
So loyal, so much loyal. And I'm guilty of this. Such loyalty that like if your barber's out of town or was available and you get like an emergency and you go cheat on your barber, we've all cheated on our barber. Every man you know has once upon a time they're probably mad faithful to their wife. Well, they've had a moment like, fuck, a wedding this Saturday. Tony's out of town.
Why?
Tony's out of town. What am I going to do? I got to get a lineup. I can't go up there without a lineup. I'm going to cheat on my barber. And then the week later, you go back to your barber and he's cutting your hair like, who did this
Like, what's
line?
happening here?
Who did this line? You stepped out on me? It's like, and there becomes a little conflict there. That
You really
happens.
think they can tell? You really think they
Absolutely.
tell?
I've been told this.
Really?
I've been told by a barber verbatim, who'd you go to? Who were you seeing? Who'd you go see? Who cut your hair? That's not
That's
me.
crazy.
That line is not me. That line is not me. They went too
That's
low.
insane.
They
That's
went
insane,
they
Mike.
went they know their work. They went too low. Who did that to you? And it's like humming.
Dude, about to hyperventilate
Yeah,
at
you're like,
the chair.
listen,
Like,
like, you was out
what?
of
Sorry.
town. I can't reach you. You was out of town. Your wife. And listen, on the flip side, if your barber thinks that you'll always be loyal to them, I've had barbers like, yo, take him to the courthouse real quick. My baby mom has to be in court. I'm like, what? I need a ride to the courthouse. I need a ride to my baby mom's. I need a ride to the grocery store. It's like, Jesus Christ. We go through with our barbering. So I do miss that aspect, even though I do go see a barber regularly. My barber, Omar, he's nice.
Yeah?
You know, but I'm only saying he's a straight from
I know
DR
a lot
dude.
of guys nowadays learn how to cut their own hair. I
That's a
think that's been a growing trend too after COVID. Like women doing their own hair, men doing their own hair.
that's an ill skill. I can't speak for the women's side, but that's an ill skill to have, especially as a dude, to learn how to look in the mirror and blend properly, line up properly. Because you know, I've never, Al. I don't know how you are, but I never was a talented drawer. I never had good sleight of hand. I never had
Me either. I could only
so.
draw ties. That's it.
Of course, Taz. Of course,
Only ties, nothing
of
else.
course, yeah.
I went through a graffiti phase. I can do graffiti.
See? That's talented.
But no, not art. I have no artsy bone at all anywhere. I'm like the athletic one. My brother was like into music. Then I have one of my younger brothers does like pottery and he's more artsy than the rest of us. And then my younger one, he's into like videography, photography, and he likes that type of stuff.
You see, all of that are a skill set. Music, I know. Music is like my nature. But even here in
But that's
pottery,
artsy. Music is
it's artsy, but I am jealous and envious of people who could just like doodle or take a paintbrush and create like arts to view. Like I'm like, God, how'd you do that? Like I'm very
the
fascinated by
vision, the vision.
yeah, the vision, the control of the hand. You know, I never had the knack for that. I barely do stick figures. Barely. I can't draw.
No, I can do more than stick figures.
See, you said graph. You can do graffiti at least. I can't do graph. I can't do nothing. Art like
Yeah,
drawing
but I
wise.
went through a phase and I thought I was like the bomb and I used to tag things and we had a little BWA thing going on with my crew. We
Wait,
just
what's that? Bitches with
we
abs.
will not disclose.
Again, we're 40 now, so figure it out.
Yeah, we had like a whole thing. It was too
Okay.
funny.
Oh man. Well, yeah, I that's but yeah, those are my movies. Those are my movies.
No, we kind of sidestepped the question.
But the last question was it was 17 for
My fear.
oh your fear. So now it is your turn to ask me.
Hmm.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, so number 54.
What the fuck? You went down.
Dude, this is what I've been doing. You're here talking to me. I'm looking at
Okay.
questions.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Alright, this or that, living by the sea or living in the mountains?
Okay, so I probably wouldn't know your answer because you mentioned hiking a lot, and you seem to be a hiker. You love nature. You bike a lot too. So I have an idea what your answer would be. With me, even though I have a big fear of like sharks and
Sharks?
I'm, yeah, I be feeling like I love the beach, but I be feeling like when it's my day to go to the beach or whatever, shark will be nearby and chop my left foot. So I mean, I'm a little nervous about the water.
So you don't go deep.
No, no, I stay. I grew up going to Far Rockaway, my uncle's house every weekend, and we would go to the beach there. Again, it's Rockaway Beach, so it's not exactly the Malibu.
Yeah, dangerous. Weren't there sharks there this summer?
Well, yeah, like now lately in 2025, you're seeing all these
There were
sharks
sharks, Mike.
all along. It's kind of weird in the last couple of years where even in Long Island, I got friends in Long Island, and you see reports how like you know, LBI and all these beaches and Jones Beach, all these shark sightings. I think it's happening because there's more hurricanes now lately because of climate change, and you're seeing more sharks being, just tossed around and their prey and their food being tossed around. So they got to travel more. But yeah, back to your question, it is living by the sea. That's my answer. And the reason why it's living by the sea to me is because water in general, whether it's a lake, I have an Irish uncle so little by the so going to like on canoe riding and just like fishing, I learned that and I learned to enjoy water at the beach too. I go to the Jersey Shore with my cousins in the summertime. I really love the idea of seeing and hearing water, whether it's still water, whether it's splashing water, whether it's waves, currents. I love to see and hear water. So for me, I would love to live by the sea. Um, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume you would say mountain. Is that true or not?
I don't know. It'd be tough for me to decide that because I water for me is my zen space. So like whenever I'm sad, whenever I'm down, I'm by the river. Like that's my spot. I can literally be on a paddleboard, lay down, and just be under the Tappan Zee, living my best life.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, you know what I mean? So like for me, water is very big. Like the first thing I do when I go to Florida, I'm at the beach. No matter what month it is, I'm at the beach. I'm not scared of sharks. I lost my phone recently for going into the ocean before sunrise in the dark.
Where was this
And
at?
my phone in Florida, my phone fell off the holder,
Oh my
and I
god.
had to decide to grab between the car keys and my cell phone.
Oh my god.
And I
You need the
jumped
car keys.
into pitch black water to grab my car keys and my phone, who knows where it went. And I'm going to say it's the first time I've ever felt what people feel when they're gonna drown or like whatever,
Mhm.
because I jumped in so suddenly that my body was in shock when I was
Wow.
in the water. So I can't even talk to my brother when I'm in the water because I'm like, it's literally like
And it's
my
dark.
because it's so dark, the water was so cold, and my body went into just shock.
Oh
And
my
he's like,
god.
"I don't know what you're saying to me." He's over there like panicking, like you see the panic on his face, and he's like, "Oh my god, am I have to gonna jump in
Oh
after
my
her
god.
ass?"
Oh
Like,
my
and it took
god.
a moment for like the shock to kind of wear off.
Right,
But
right.
it was enough for me to like grab the car keys, my phone, who cares? I'm like, water. Give me back my phone! Water is not cooperating.
Oh my god.
But everyone was like, "Are you crazy? Why are you even jumping in the dark water? You don't even know what's down there." Like,
Mhm.
that's the last thing that I would ever think of in my mind. And then after that situation, we still stood in the water, we watched the sunrise, we went around the circular path that we had there. But for me, I love water. I love nature in general. I don't know. I think best of both worlds would be a cliff overlooking.
Yeah, I marvel at living in mountains too and being around nature and whatnot. I'm always a little worried about certain game that's out there, certain animals
I
that's out
think
there.
it's a more for me, it's a calming sensation, right? Like, I didn't know this until Al ended up going to Middletown and, like, Rockland, that silence has a noise.
Mm.
Have you
No,
noticed that?
tell me that silence has a noise. I mean, aside from crickets, what do you mean by noise?
No. Like, when you're used to so much noise in the city and you go somewhere where there isn't all this the cars, you hear a hum. It's like a hum.
Oh
And
yeah,
he would go to my mom's and he'd be like, "Why? What's that noise? Where's that coming from?" And because you're used to it. And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
I can see that.
So I think for me, it's that. It's the silence, the noise, the you don't hear in your everyday that I like. Like whether it's the river flowing, whether it's the trees, the unknowns of the dark.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because the silence of it all, the silence and the exclusivity of space and whatnot. I aside from rom-coms, I also love to watch end of the world dystopian type films where like
Armageddon,
some
Deep
like
Impact.
some Armageddon, Deep Impacts, or some that already like occurred that reshaped our planet, like a zombie apocalypse, say
Okay.
an invasion, any and all in between. I
So you're
love
watching Paradise?
I haven't watched Paradise yet, but I've heard good things. People are saying this is worth a watch. So you're saying that too? Okay. Mind you, I have no idea what it's about. Now that you say that, now I'm even more interested, and I trust your judgment. Okay, I guess for you, I will like definitely also buy in. Okay, I'll check it out. It's on Hulu, I think, or Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Yeah, I've heard good things. So, okay, take your word for it. So, with that being said, with the question you asked me, coupling that with my love for dystopian movies, if there was a zombie apocalypse, what is the better location to have? Up in the mountains or living by the sea? Or living at the sea?
Probably just living in the sea.
I
Just
think
have a
that's
little island. Just have an island.
yeah, I guess I would just be the master fisherman because yo, what can and I
Do
wonder
you
if
know
it's
how to fish?
forgot, but I'll figure it out. Tom Hanks did it with a spear and Castaway. I think I would when people do these like and the zombie end of the world movies. I'm always like, why does somebody go to the sea? Like they can't possibly swim, and I feel like that'd be my first move. Where is the closest coastline, and who has a boat? Because I feel like if you stay on land, eventually you'll meet a certain fate. Oh
But don't they also say if you're out at sea for too long, you can also dehydrate because of the
yeah,
salt in the water?
you're right. You're right, which is probably why I need to, like, start for zombie safety, start learning how to boil my water correctly and turn salt water into because once the zombie apocalypse ha on once the zombie apocalypse happens, you don't wanna be that guy on the team that has no skills. Like, this guy was a medic, this guy was an army
Doesn't it make
sergeant.
you feel like, why didn't we go and join, like, the camp, the
Yeah,
campsites
the bad
when we were younger?
or
The
Girl
troopers?
Scouts, Girl Scouts,
Yeah,
Boy
the Girl
Scouts,
Scouts, Boy
because
Scouts.
it's like, this guy's a medic, he can help you this way. That guy's an army sergeant. That guy can suture wounds. What can you do? I'm a
Oh, I can
streamer.
suture wounds. I can
Yeah,
suture
you
wounds.
know, what do you do, Mike? I'm a streamer.
I can make music.
I
I
can
can
make
make
music.
music. Wait,
I can
give me
play away.
rocks. Give me rocks.
I can play away our pains with rocks. It's like, yo, you need a life skill.
No, you're right about that.
And then
And
if, go ahead.
I am a firm believer that they're subliminally sending us messages on what's gonna end up happening. I feel like they know what's gonna happen and they're like little tidbits and like since Men in Black with the aliens, it just started from there and it's just gradually getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
And now, you mentioned aliens, but nowadays they're actually really, going to try to let us know that aliens exist.
No, but they're
And
even saying mermaids, Mike. Have you seen
I've
the
heard
report of
mermaids.
mermaids?
I'm like, mermaids?
You know how
What's
long they've been telling us about the Little Mermaid?
and me and my horny ass like mermaids. What's the cup size? What
They don't look like that. They
yeah, yeah,
don't look like that, those mermaids.
what are you working with there? What are you working with?
Yeah.
Because, well, side question then. Side question. If there was one mythical or phenomena figure in history or society that you wish were real, what would it be? There's so many different things.
Dragon.
Dragons, policing you. Jesus Christ.
How
You
about
want
you?
dragons. That's such a fucking badass answer
So,
because
what do you Mike, did you want me to say a pony? A unicorn?
it's and no, but
Let me know.
it's so fucking dangerous. Like,
Dude,
when you read or
right
watch,
away, dragon. As you were formulating your answer, I'm like, there's only
you
one
knew it
thing. It's
already.
just
You
dragons.
dragon loving bastard. You already knew your answer. Jesus, because like if you read or watch Game of Thrones and you see Khaleesi, the Dragon Queen, and how she gets to grow her dragons and train them
Mhm.
and ride them, it's like that's the ultimate cheat code. It's like you got 1,000 men army against me. All right, that's fine. You can just whistle
Yeah.
and the dragon comes through and just annihilates them all with like fire. It's just crazy. Imagine people had dragons. Jesus Christ.
That'd be so cool. You know, there would be no more cars.
Forget about it.
What?
You
And
gotta
we'll
park,
like be like, wait, what?
you gotta park your dragon on Fifth Avenue. Jesus Christ. Yo, just put a
Yeah,
big old
that'd be
clamp
cool.
over its neck. I'll be right back. I'm gonna
All
shop.
right, Mike. I'm waiting for your mythical creature.
Yeah. I gotta say a leprechaun.
A
because
leprechaun?
because one, they look fly in that green all day. Two, apparently they stay with money or Lucky Charms. And three, yeah, listen, we need to give more love to dwarfs and midgets. All right. So
Let me tell you that when you think of when you're telling me leprechauns, I think of scary leprechauns with the sharp teeth.
amen.
So not even the nice leprechauns that you're thinking about cross my mind.
Hey man, he's probably misunderstood. He probably is a dentist. There's not a whole lot of leprechaun dentists out there. It's not his fault. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
I don't know. I mean, outside of that, you hear things growing up a
That's an
lot.
interesting response, though, a
You know
leprechaun.
what? When you hear things growing up, you hear like, "Oh, Loch Ness monster," or mummies, or vampires, or wolf, or werewolves. You hear about different things. In Haitian culture, there's an infamous animal or like phenomenon, spiritual phenomenon that's used on kids to tell
What
them
is
night.
it? Oh my
They're,
God, what is it?
they're called like lugavus. Lugavu is it's like a werewolf human, but like it can walk or run on four legs. It can walk on two legs. Can enter your dreams. It can if it knows when you're being bad, it'll chase you and it'll come after you. And like a werewolf, it's a little different.
But what's the fable? What was the point of it?
I remember, girl. I'm 40 years old.
Oh my God, so old.
All I know is back then when I was 5 years old, my mom before bedtime be like, "You better go to bed, or Luna will get you." And she'll tell me stories back then. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm like, all right, I'm going to sleep. But
No, 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 Mike. You need to ask your mom.
I'm gonna go. But
What is it?
the lore is online. One day I'll send you a link to the lore of it. They really come from France and Africa. But
I
yeah,
like reading those stuff. The
yeah.
lores.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There's always a story. My mom is someone growing up. I'm a neck from Haiti, and my mom was someone who would tell me she would instruct me at 10 years old. Hey, listen, if you go outside and there's powder on the floor as you walk out the building, do not step on it. Go around it. And she'll give me all these little voodoo tips, stuff like that. And I'm 10 years old, like, okay, like, you know what
The
I'm
lady's
saying?
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm like, it's my night.
How do you feel about it now?
It's funny you asked that. For a long time, Alba, for a long time, most of my 30s, I was a big agnostic slash atheist. I felt like, oh, this is all bullshit. This is all nonsense. This is real. God, prove that to me. What do you do? Not arrogantly, or just with fatigue, you know? That's not to say I didn't have balance in my early 20s pursuing spirituality. I pursued Christianity with Will, going to church with him as an adult, not as a teen or a child, as an adult on my own. I visited mosque and learned about Islam as much as I could. So I've done spiritual journeys, but I also would be like, I don't think so. But now in my 40s, I start to think like some of the shit may have some plausibility to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen these, I'm like, I've heard stories, I'm like, I can't just dismiss things anymore. So now I'm more open to when I was like in my 20s. I was like, it's nonsense, you know. Uh,
So for me, I am not gonna say that I'm 100% a firm believer of everything. I have utmost respect for the voodoo stuff, for
yeah.
each believe whatever they gotta believe. I do think that we give power to a lot of things. So just like words, right? We
Mhm.
give power to words. We give power to a lot of things that shouldn't have power,
Mhm.
right? I would say if I have to identify with a religion, maybe more of a Buddhist than anything else. I'm more about energies and feelings. I don't think that you need to go to church to see God. I feel like he's a part of us, part of our everything. I feel like I've been very protected my whole life. Like I've been in
Mhm.
crazy situations that
Right.
I get home and it's 3 in the morning. How did I get home after an hour drive in the dark? You know what I mean? Like little things like that. And I feel like we're all protected. We're all, I guess, susceptible to different things. And it's about what you believe in. And I tried getting an aura cleaning and cleansing and all this
Mhm.
stuff. And they were like, oh my God, we can't do anything because you have a barrier that protects you and blah, blah. I just feel like there's so much bigger things than just us. And the
Mhm.
idea to sit here and be like, oh no, this doesn't exist is so naive on our end because there's so much more about the world that we don't know, even
Mhm.
if it is mythological, whatever it is, there's so much unknown, right? Like,
Mhm.
so the potential of there being something else, of course. Am I gonna sit here and be like, oh my God, let me wear my red bracelet that's
That
gonna
ain't me.
protect me from evil?
That ain't me. I'm not superstitious like that. No, that ain't me. No, no.
You know what I mean? Like, I do have things like if you look at my wrist, I have a cross. I have a cross dangling. I have an evil eye on here.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a red bracelet with my Game of Thrones dragon.
Oh, of course you do. And I believe in superstition in some instances. Like I don't watch Knicks games really, especially live on air. Like maybe I'll DVR it and watch it on the replay. I don't watch it live on air because I feel like whenever I watch the Knicks play live, I make them lose. Like me watching them.
Like, you never know, right? Like, and there's so much power in thought. I firmly believe that. There's so much power in thought. There's so much power in words. And we don't know. Look at how much of the ocean we don't know.
Absolutely,
Who's to say there's not a whole civilization down there
absolutely.
that's living in tandem?
Well, Atlantis. Yeah.
So I can't sit here and be like, oh my God, this is not real. This is not. I will tell you this, and it's something that I despise and something that I grew up with going to Catholic church and seeing Christians. I hate people that go to church and then they leave church and you're criticizing everyone that you just saw at church. That's one of my biggest,
Mhm,
biggest pet peeves.
mhm,
I'm like, you just came from a holy mass.
mhm, mhm.
What are you talking about, anyone?
I've also seen the inverse. I've seen people who live wild lives, and then they want to calm down, get their life together, go to church, and they judge you the second they get in the church. I'm like, hey, you were just robbing banks 2 weeks ago. Relax. Hey, you have 4 children by 3 men. Like, relax. What are we doing?
No, yeah, but it's true though, right? Like, I think as a society, we need to stop being so judgmental. I think that's what
Correct.
it comes down to.
Right.
We're so sensitive, and at the same time, we're so judgmental, and we wanna categorize everyone, and it's just what it is. Live and let live.
Live and let live. That was your question to me, I think?
Yes.
Okay. So now I owe you a question. So we'll probably do another another round of me to you and a you to me, and then we'll probably wrap things up.
Okie dokes.
Okay, that was a good question. You were waiting for that question. Number 59. What's an unpopular opinion that you have that you actually feel really strong about?
Hmm.
What is an unpopular opinion that you have that you feel really strongly about? I have maybe one, but
I think I probably just have one too, though. I don't think there should be any type of gender norms or references when it comes to cartoons with kids. I think if anyone is under the age of 12, you don't need to be talking about what they are, what they want to be, who they're attracted to. I think kids should be kids.
I could see that. I could see that. And by the way, you're not alone there. If it could be it could probably feel like an unpopular opinion in
No
general.
one voices it.
No one voices it. No, people aren't thinking that probably, but they're not voicing that. Behind
Yes.
closed doors, let me tell you, people are having those conversations
Yeah, behind closed doors, but
behind closed
not
doors, but they don't feel
on a public platform,
they don't feel
not
open. They don't feel like they'll
yeah.
yeah. Because unfortunately, we live in a culture where if you have a different opinion from a particular quote unquote progressive perspective, then you may feel like you're outcasted or you're looked at as not progressive or not enlightened, but like archaic or bigoted almost. Where it's like, no, 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 no. The way I feel is with no malice, no anger, no hatred. It's just for me a logical conclusion that I've come to.
And that's for me based on me, my experience being a child, my experience being a teenager. I feel like there was so much I was dealing with as a kid. I was even bullied as a kid. To then also have an extra layer of, wait, I may like girls now too? Or wait, no, wait, I may actually be a boy. I think it's just adding on to confusion instead of helping or assisting children figure out who they are, right? Because I feel like it's like I'm offering you a Big Mac and a hot dog and french fries. And what do you want? And some ice cream, by the way, just in case. You're gonna want a little bit of everything. And I think that's why there's so much confusion nowadays. And that's why a lot of children end up having same sex relationships to then
Mhm,
end up eventually realizing, hey, I didn't even like this.
mhm.
But they were too young to understand it. And I think for me, that's like, I don't know who's making the laws. I don't know who's sitting there talking. This is not okay. Like, I get that there are a handful of children, because there will be, that may not feel
Comfortable.
themselves, right? But those are case by case scenarios. They just went ahead and made this into like a wide norm movement. And you're including other people in this that are being affected in a negative way. And I noticed the problem when my uncle, who is gay,
Mhm.
had an issue with it too. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah. There's people
what?
yeah, there's a famous comedian out there that my wife put me on. Funny dude. He performs and lives life mostly in drag, with women clothing on and wigs. His name is Flame Monroe. But he'll tell you as a drag person, just because I dress like a woman doesn't mean I am a woman. I could never be a woman essence, in all her splendor and all her naturality. I cosplay as a woman. I feel comfortable growing up in my mom's closet wearing clothes that I felt looked good on me from her closet. But I knew in my heart, I'm not a woman. I'm not a woman. I am not a woman. And,
Mhm.
some would say that no matter how much, chemicals and gender chemistry that we are allowing certain kids in certain states to have young, it probably could do more damage than good because let's face it, when I was in 6th grade, 11 years old, 12 years old, yeah, I'm sure I thought I really liked Roseanne or I really liked Alex, a girl Alex, and I really liked certain girls. But I also still didn't know myself. And I was making hypotheses on what I thought I liked, you know what I'm saying? And through trial and error, I had to really realize Oh, I really like chicks. I really like girls. You know what I'm saying? No, no, it's confirmed. It's confirmed now. It's verified. Prom night.
Yeah, but imagine you had to deal with so many other things on
Yes,
top of the uncertainty, or even having to ask someone out. Do you know how? And for guys, it was worse than girls
right.
because guys had to do the asking out.
I'll never forget this though. I'll say this though. I'll never forget this. Early '90s, growing up with the illegal cable box. Shout out to my uncle Rainey in Far Rockaway. He retired to Florida, so he's good. Um, he used to hook us up with the legal cable boxes with free HBO. So, I'd watch HBO late at night. Like I just be up wired, like 9 years old, 8 years old, watching HBO, watching real sex, watching all these shows that are for like adults, the adult hour. And I remember watching the show called Taxi Cab Confessions.
Mhm.
And Taxi Cab Confessions, the theme was late night New York City. A cab driver on HBO would have a camera in his cab, and they go around all night picking up customers, and take them home. But as a cab driver, you'll strike conversations. This is the early '90s. There'll be different cab drivers with different segments of the show of the documentary. And I'll never forget this one passenger. He was a Puerto Rican dude that had, back then they called it transvestites. He was a Puerto Rican transvestite. He grew his hair out to be curly and out. He got surgery to look like a woman or to present like a woman. He got surgery, early '90s, mind you, not 2026. Getting surgery. And you could tell, okay, this person really did their best to look like a decent looking human as a woman. They try. And I remember that person that he was telling his story about how he was excommunicated from his family for old school Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, there's
Xed
still a
out,
lot of them like that now.
and Xed out from his family, can't see his nephews no more, etc. But he had to go through with this. Like he was compelled to turn his not biology, but turn his body and his anatomy to present like a woman. That's what he felt up for. And at that age, at 9 years old, 8 years old, I'm reading, watching this person like, okay, they must really mean this shit. They must really need to do this shit. And this is some wild stuff. This is wild as hell. But they had the conviction to prove to
Did you
me
ever ask your parents about it?
about what?
About what you saw on TV?
Oh hell no! Are you kidding me? Listen, I have whole girlfriends my mom doesn't know about. Okay, to this day, you know what I'm saying? No. So no, there's just some stuff. Old school West Indians, Haitian folks. They barely know my middle name. Um,
You're horrible.
so so no, no. But my dad is a little more open though. And my mom has later on in life, because you brought up your grandmother and her mortality with getting blind. My mother had a brain tumor on her frontal lobe in 2010, which they successfully took out the tumor and it messed up part of her vision. So I can empathize with that thing we had with your abuelas. And with that being said, with my mom now in this new state where she's disabled now, can't work. She's got a little more cooler. She can crack a little more jokes now. But I'm not testing her for certain content. I'm like, at your funeral, I'll let you know this shit happened. And she'll still be like in her casket, like choking, like, what just happened?
You're like, what? What did you
What?
say?
So yeah,
How
so
about for you?
wait, what was the question again? We're off track.
An
Oh,
unfavorite
popular.
opinion,
Okay,
unpopular opinion.
okay. This is what you said. I guess in the spirit of socialization and politics, it's controversial. But I have something that's even more controversial to
Go
every
ahead.
to every walk of life. I don't care. I don't care if you're Tony from Staten Island, if you're Alba from Riverside. I don't care what walk of life you're from. On the West Coast, people do not like when I say this. And I've kind of pulled back over the years. I'm now really focusing on one breed, which is pit bulls.
Oh my god, what?
But my unpopular opinion is this. I think Miami is already happening. But I think worldwide, nationally, federally, worldwide, I think pit bulls should be outlawed.
Dogs?
Pit bull dogs. I think pit bulls should not be legal. I know. People tell me this, and they're like, no, my, you animal, you. How could you?
Why? Let me hear this. Why? What is your justification other
There's
than
nothing I can.
horrible owners?
There's nothing I can say to convince
Go
dog owners
ahead.
and dog lovers.
I'm very like
I'm
open-minded. I would accept what is it? Let's hear. Let's
right now. She thinks you.
Pit bulls are so cute. Are you kidding me?
Not for nothing, this past summer, we fostered a baby pit bull.
Yes,
We
I
fostered one.
remember.
So, I saw the sweetness in Nova. That was the name of the dog. I saw Nova's sweetness. I saw how the first night she was an abused pup. So I saw the first day we threw her home. The
Whatever
whole
happening with her?
well, we got her in late June, early July, and by
'Cause I feel like you had her all summer, no?
summer, up until late September, we got her home. So for like 2, 3 months, we had her. She was part of the house, and she was awesome. She was awesome there in the respect of like she was very peaceful, very peaceful. She was a baby. She was like 6, 7 weeks old or whatnot. So when she left, she was like 9, 10 weeks old. She was awesome, even though she drove us hell with the peeing and the poop, and like, we'll
Yeah.
take her out. I'll take her out, 3 times, but she still never found a way to poop on the floor and pee on the floor and miss the BB pad. So that was annoying. But otherwise, she was very peaceful. She would play a little rough sometimes with Charlie, but I felt like, she's just a baby. They're both just babies, and she means well. But yo, man, you can't predict these pit bulls, bro. These
But that's just
motherfuckers.
all animals. That's all animals. You can't sit here and say, "Oh my god." You know, a little tiny dog like this big, a chihuahua, bit my ear when I was like 6 years old.
Yeah, but you don't see the coroner's office today have a chihuahua locked up because it bit our ear. No, these pit bulls be killing motherfuckers. They be killing people, dude. And that
So
concerns
can a
me.
Great Dane. So can the huge monster. What are those dogs? The King Corsos?
Oh, yo,
Tell
no,
me
yo,
that dog.
hold on. You
Mike. Tell me that
you
dog. I'll be like, all
not
right, I get it. Oh,
not
Rottweiler. All right.
Not only are you correct, but I'll one up you. Maybe like in summertime, we had a lady in our building. If you know where I live, you know where I live. And a lady in our building, older lady, not like super old, but see, she's still walking and stuff, but you can tell she's getting older. For some reason, this past summer, she had the biggest dark gray cane corso, and this freaking dog would
Nah.
woof and bark at everyone in the building. And she'd have to like hold him with all her might in the elevator with him. If you were in the elevator with him, hold him back with all her might, or she would know better. And like, let's say she's in the lobby first, and you come in the lobby afterwards. She'd hold him back. You get this elevator first. I'll get the next one.
I
Just please
wouldn't
go
get
ahead
in
and
the
go hurry.
elevator with her.
I'm like,
You brave
dude,
if you got in the elevator with
no,
her.
with Charlie, I said, nah, I'll wait, or I'll go first. You get the next one. And she was like, yeah, I'll get the next one. My thing is, if you own a dog, you have to use the words, I'll get the next one. You should either have that dog, you shouldn't have that dog, or that dog needs to be somewhere in the wild, okay? With lions and tigers and bears on mine.
Let me tell you, I had a pit bull. It was my brother's, and we pretty much shared her. But the sweetest, cutest, most adorable dog ever. I think ultimately it's not about the breed, even though a lot of it is the breed. I think it's how you train the dog, right? And I'm
Mhm,
saying that as a dog owner because let me tell
mhm,
you, I have a poodle, a super cute, sweet poodle who is love hungry and can't see any dog outside in the street because he starts whimpering trying to play with the dogs.
right, right.
And I don't let him near other people's dogs because other people's dogs, unfortunately, are savages. And they'll
Right.
start barking at him and they'll try to bite him. And I'm not even talking about a pit bull, I'm talking about regular, tiny, weenie dogs. So I think ultimately, as a dog owner, you need to know what your dog is capable of and whether it's safe to be around your dog or not, or to even have children around your dog. I don't think it's
Yeah.
fair to say, oh my God, the pit bulls. I get it. They have a bad reputation, but it's because they've also had very, very bad owners. And unfortunately, the stories that headline all the newspapers have to do with pit bulls. Oh my God, someone had a pit bull in their apartment, ate up the owner. That in the projects. Wasn't it in the summer? There's some guy in the
Yeah,
projects
something like that. Something like that.
had a pit bull and ate him.
Something like that. Yeah.
Listen, you leave any animal, even a cat, with a person in a home and no food, the cat is gonna eat the owner too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
An
absolutely.
animal is an animal, Mike. If we're gonna come down to it, then no one should have an animal.
Yes, it reminded me of an old Chris Rock joke from stand-up special he had, where I guess it was in Las Vegas. Siegfried and Roy, the talented duo that would like have a show in Las Vegas with tigers. And one time in the 2000s, a tiger like scratched Siegfried and tried to eat him and stuff. And Chris Rock was making a joke about it. He's like, everybody's blaming the tiger for what happened. That tiger went tiger. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go crazy.
I'm with them.
Yeah, the tiger was crazy when it was on a little bicycle doing tricks. That's when it was crazy. I agree with you there. I understand. It's just that these pit bulls need better PR. I'll tell you that. They need better representation.
They do, but they also come on, like, what are they known for? It's like when you think of, like, foreign countries and the cockfights.
Yeah, yeah,
Are you gonna sit there and
yeah.
blame the rooster?
No, no, it was trained that way.
It
I
was
have a
trained.
barber. I have a barber whose brother. I remember one time we were walking down the street in Valley, and the brother of the barber, he was just like smacking his dog around. It's like smacking him as they're walking and just berating him. I'm like, what are you doing? That dog's bite me one day. What are you doing? Like you need to relax. And I think some owners have a power trip where they're just like they want to exert dominance on an animal and think that that's love. But really, it's like no, you just playing out a fantasy of dominance. And then one day that people will bite your ass or bite somebody else, and you'll have to pay for it. So
But think about it,
you're
Mike.
right
Think
there.
about all these serial killers and all these children that are
Oh yeah,
abused who end up becoming abusers. Why? This is what you learned.
yeah,
This is what you were taught.
right. That's true. That's true. So that was my question, or that was your question? Let me see.
My question that you also answered. So I have one more.
Okay, go ahead.
What do you think the
What number
number
is this?
one 58. What do you think the number one most important quality in a friend is?
Oh, good question. What do you think the number one most important quality in a friend is? Good question. A younger me, which was more brash, more less forward thinking, more egotistical. I would have said loyalty, just flat out loyalty. Just be loyal, son. That's it. Just be loyal, son. Just be loyal to me, son.
Yeah, does this apply to girlfriends too? Just be loyal.
Oh no, I believe in loyalty, period. In any relationship. I detest men who play this James Bond double life on women. You can't hang with me if you stepping out on your lady, especially if you made me meet her or go to her house or shake her hand. Don't do that to me. You know what I'm saying? Because
Okay.
now I realize that you're violating this woman. On top of that, you're showing me how you value friendships or connections. Because me and you are
Okay,
supposed
I
to be
can see that.
boys. Me and you are supposed to be boys, and we don't have a spiritual connection like you and your lady. You and your lady sleep together. Sex is energy.
Oh,
Sex
you
is
believe soul ties. You believe in the soul
I
ties.
think on some level, yeah. On some level, yeah. Yeah, on some level, I've seen
Okay.
it.
You've
Um,
seen it. Wait, what?
s
Alright, I
on
need the
s
story. Let's finish your
I
thought and then we go back to soul ties.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Alright,
But
so
yeah,
loyalty.
yeah, loyalty. So, I feel like loyalty is not enough. So what I will say today, at 40 years old, what I need to and dependable leads in or is derived from trust. So you're trusting. If I depend on you, that means I can trust you. And trust is very
Okay,
important
I
because
like that.
the trust, the skill and quality of trust, it can manifest for me in different ways. If it's 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to some chaos or some drama. It's incredibly great to know I have someone that I can release to, and they can have space for me. And I can trust that they will be a safe haven for me to express myself or just to exist. If I can trust you on the go, something's going on, and I can trust you in my life, my kids, etc. That's an incredible quality to have. It takes the weight off your back. Like, okay, Alba is dependable. If I got drama, I know I can call upon her, and if she can do it, if she can do it, then she will do it
Yeah,
with
I can
me.
see that.
You know what I'm saying? So that is a very important quality to have in a friend, someone who's dependable you can trust on. So that's my thing. What about you? I'm curious. What about you?
Like yours, but I like honesty. Above all else, I need you to be real and honest with me. If
Sure.
I look crazy, I need to know I look crazy. I'll be okay. You're not hurting my feelings. I
Right.
think it's important to be able to tell someone what it is because if everyone else is lying to you, you need that one person that's going to say, hey, look, come sit down. Let's have a talk real quick.
And it's funny you say that because there are a bunch of friendships out there that are surface level
Hmm.
where does not like that, deep rooted like situations to earn trust and earn honesty and to
Yeah.
see
No.
honesty.
Yeah. No, for me, my closest friends, you better sit there and tell me whatever it is you need to tell me. And like we will argue and we will fight and we don't always see eye to eye, but our space, we're going to tell you what it is, whether you like it or not. And I
Last
feel
night
like
you
that's important to have.
and I agree with you. And I feel like last night we spoke. You had mentioned how you lost a friend that you knew for a long time because they never explained themselves, their gripe or their issue with you, and they just let it be, and it just lingered for years. And I would tell, and I wanted to say this to you last night, and hopefully the message could be expressed now that I feel sorry for people who feel like they have an issue and they don't have the ability to express themselves. It's like, damn, you can't be honest with yourself or with me about what's bothering you, that's gonna hinder you in the long run more than it does me. You know what I'm saying? So,
You know, there's this thing that I always say it. You have a problem with me. I don't have one with you. So whatever you got going on, I'm not a mind reader. I can't solve your issues if you're not here to tell me that you have an issue with me. Because yes, I'm kind of like an empath in a way, and I you get vibes and you get people's feelings and you know that something is off. But I'm not gonna address it because I don't have a problem with you. Do I know
right.
that there's something weird going on and you may have a problem with me? But it's not my job to sit here and ask you what your problem is with me. I think we're
I agree.
grown up enough, and I feel like I assume you have enough respect for me that you can sit here and tell me, I have a problem with you. I was told you said this, and third. Did you do that?
Mhm.
And if you
That's
can't do
good.
that, then keep assuming, then keep it moving. Our friendship wasn't really a friendship. Because let
Right.
me tell you, I try to ice out my friends, the ones that I've known forever. They're
Mhm.
gonna look at me like, "Are you stupid?" They'll come knocking on my door, Mike, like, hello, you're not responding to my messages. I'll leave a
Right.
group chat because I get in my feelings and I get angry, and they'll put me in the group chat. Like, you're not leaving.
That's good.
Like, you
That's
know what I
good.
mean? Like, you either know me or you don't know me. And after X amount of years, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what type of friend I am. Either you know who I am or I'm not. I kid you not, I am that one person you can call at all hours and I will
Mhm.
be in your corner. What I've
Right.
learned as I've gotten older is to not expect that in return.
Right.
That
Right.
leads to disappointment.
You spoke about that a few weeks ago to me. You were learning to grapple with the idea of that, like if people aren't reciprocal, and you learn to accept that and not
Yeah.
to have expectations. Why is that? Why
And
did you say
that
that to me?
because it's not so much it's not a bad thing, right? It's just coming to terms with adulthood and the reality of people, right? I think as individuals, we assume that because we're one way, then everyone else around us will be the same way. And that's not the way
Right.
things are, right? Someone may pass for you, God forbid, and
Mhm.
I'll be with you from the moment it happens till the moment the person is put away. While for me, someone may only be there for 2, 3 hours, but I was there all day. You know what I mean? Like, you can't take it personal because
Mhm.
everyone has their own way of showing what they need to show.
I think when it comes to me, I've been better at being there for people through hardships, through trauma, through chaos, through grave situations. But I've had a tougher time, if I could be honest and self admit. I've had a tougher time showing up for the daily, and maybe not daily, but like what I deem to be nonsensical bonding moments. In other words, I was that guy growing up in the context of guy friends. I was that guy growing up who would not show up to a lot of guy stuff outside of like basketball or outside of like maybe going to Hooters, watch a game or whatever. I was not that guy you can rely on to go to uh, a certain outing, like a hotel party with liquor or the no girls or a strip club or
No
whatever.
girls. This
Like
is more
like
no
yeah, like
girls.
no girls. It's just dudes who bought liquor for the night. I was not that guy. I'm not the guy that would go with you if I was guy friends to the club just to go. I was not that guy. One, I'm a recluse. Brian Simpson, a comedian, Brian Simpson, like a year ago, he did an episode of a podcast with Neil Brennan, who's another comedian who's co-creator of Chappelle Show. And Brian Simpson said this, I'm paraphrasing, this spoke to me. He goes, I'm not, he said, I'm paraphrasing, he said, I want you to know me well enough as friends. I want you to know me well enough that, you know, I can't make it to your party, or I can't make it to your function. I can't make it to your happening event. But I want you to know that I would like to be invited. And also I want you to know that I do mean well. I do mean well. I do love you. And I'll root for you from afar. Hope we have a good time, but I can't make it. I got so much going on in
But you
my
better
head.
invite me.
Yeah, but invite me. And that is me to a T. Yo, I'm not showing up to a frivolous event. It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna show up. But I
You know
do
what,
want to
Mike? You
know.
show up the events that matter.
I'm probably the first one there early. I'm probably help setting up the atmosphere or the first one to pick up the pieces when there's drama. And I can show up for those events, no questions asked, no, but the daily, the almost daily or weekly attrition of like I said, I don't want to disparage people's feelings about their activities, but if I may deem and be like, oh, it's a waste of my time, or I don't need to be here, I don't need to be going out to this spot, I don't need to be going out to this spot, or
Mike,
about.
it's not even about that, Mike. It's the fact that you're 41, you have children, you have a 9 to 5.
But
Your
dude,
free time is a commodity.
but you know what's crazy? You know what's funny? You can ask Matthew. You grew up with Matt. You grew up with Matt. I was just way in my 20s. There's a nickname they have for me in the group chat called Swerving Mike. And the reason why they call me Swerving Mike, because I was the absolute best at either curving events, like not going to events, or doing the Irish goodbye, where I go, but you turn your back, I'm gone. Like I'm out of here.
Mike,
But
I have a vivid memory of you in your hoopty and walking towards it and like holding your pants and going, bye guys, and just
yeah, yeah.
leaving all the time. You're always leaving.
Always leaving. I was
Always
always
leaving. You grabbing
uh,
your pants. I don't know. They were too big. I don't know what was happening. Grabbing your pants, just bye. I'm leaving.
yes, that is true. That's an accurate portrayal. And shout out to your memory. Part of the
Brown Toyota, right?
yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, got a good memory.
Mike, you used to save me from the school bus. I would
I
definitely
know,
remember that.
I know. And sure, yeah, good times. But I have this thing where it's like I have to get to safety for myself. And sometimes safety is getting to a quiet area, whether it's home or somewhere where I can be peaceful, whether it's the sea, where I can get somewhere and just have personal sense of serenity. Because I do sometimes feel unsafe in a lot of crowded areas. I'm nervous about people. I'm nervous about different atmospheres. Or on the flip side, especially in my 20s, and guys didn't understand this. Sometimes you might get a text from a lady friend. It's like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm sorry, guys, when you're 22, 23 years old, and a beautiful young lady says, let's hang out, God forbid if I tell my boys, all right, I'm going to put this Everclear vodka down. I'm going to stop looking at
I'll be
you.
back. Back.
Yeah. You guys have fun with these little choking games and 2K. I'm going to go talk to, listen, Alba, don't get it twisted. It's important to understand to a young man who is in tap with and in tune with women, a woman's energy is intoxicating as a young man if you're thinking that way. If you're able to appreciate a woman, you can learn a lot from a woman that you've already learned from a man. By the time you're 16 years old, you kind of know most things you need to know about men if you're a dude. Like you kind of
Okay.
the locker room has taught you enough. You know what I'm saying? You know
I
enough.
don't need any more.
But but women are consistently fascinating. And God forbid a woman likes you and she wants to divulge more about herself into you. Yeah, okay, I'm going out with you with this girl. And dude look at me crazy. Oh, you leave me for her or for this chick? Whatever. Yeah,
No, what is it? Bros before hoes.
which is the most rainbow. I love rainbow people. I love you, rainbow people. I love you. But that's the most rainbow thing you can say to a man. Bros are for hoes. Like, no. But you know what? That part of that comes from insecurity.
I can see that.
A lot of guys, they don't have the gall to go to a woman or make connections with a woman and actually be vulnerable in that moment to go
Or
deeper with
even just
someone
a maturity, Mike. Just a level of maturity.
or maturity. Yeah, yeah. And to me, women were a challenge. So I felt like growing up in my 20s, the more I talk to a woman and she engages back with me, especially a woman I like, it's building my reps as an orator, as a communicator, and it's helping me grow as someone who to be trusted and to be someone who can be talked to, approachable. So I felt like it was a challenge of growing my family, but a lot of dudes don't want to evolve. They're like, no, let's just hang out and bullshit. So yeah.
I can see that.
What question? That was question what, 54? Let me see what question what was that? That was a
All right,
good
Mike,
question.
a quick one, Mike, a quick one.
Oh my
What
god.
character do you love to play as in Mario Kart?
Question is this.
79.
What character do you love to play as in Mario Kart? Okay, I've always been partial.
What? Partial. Mike, the first one you get, who are you getting?
Outside of Mario, because Mario is someone I choose a lot because I feel like, oh no, I want to be the main character.
Whack.
But
Okay.
no, I want to say it's either Donkey Kong or Yoshi.
I love Yoshi. My favorite is Yoshi.
Yoshi? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, shout out to you. Can I be honest with you? I was disappointed by the Mario movie. I didn't like it all that much.
Yeah.
I was
It wasn't that
underwhelmed.
great.
I was underwhelmed. I was like, really? Sonic has been dope. The Sonic films.
No, the Sonic films have been really good. They've been doing a
Yeah.
really good job with
Yeah.
those.
They were
The
dope.
Mario one was even the
Yeah.
Minecraft one was
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
expected more from the Minecraft. With all the hype and all the stuff that they've been going on with the kids, I expected a lot more. I was just there like, why am I in the theater? I should have just
Yeah.
bootlegged it.
Yeah. Not for nothing. This is a TV show, not a film. But it's also video game centric. Have you ever watched on HBO? It's a zombie show where it's from the mushrooms, the cordyceps, the fungi. All right, so there's a
A
there's
fun guy.
there's a video game. There's a video game that they made into a HBO show. It's video game. Um, cordyceps. It's with cordyceps. Cordyceps are real mushrooms. Cordyceps. You know it. We haven't seen it yet. Cordyceps fungus. What's the name of that area? Cordyceps fungus video game. A zombie. The Last of Us. You never heard of The
I heard it's
Last?
really good. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I've heard it's really, really good.
Uh,
I don't know.
okay. Well, The Last of Us was first a video game. I guess it came out
And then they made a series, and
in
everyone
this.
was very hyped about the series. Is it
Yes,
worth it?
yes, it's worth it.
Okay.
It's worth it. It's a dystopian show. Like I said, I like dystopian stuff. It's dystopian, but just so you know, the context of the show is that it's the end of the world stuff, and
Mhm.
it's through cordyceps fungi. I don't know if you know this, Al, but in real life, like this show, we do have plants, mushrooms on the ground in real life. They're called cordyceps, and they're like a mushroom fungus. And the cordyceps mushroom is susceptible. It's susceptible in real life. You can look up on YouTube. It's susceptible to plant zombies, where they get a virus inside them, and then like this zombie plant controls them, and it makes the cordyceps act out of whack, or the fungi can leak into animals like insects. Like
So where are these mushrooms
well,
located exactly?
I'll have to look it up, but they're spread out around the world, and I
Mm,
think in
not
America.
in New York City.
I don't think the city. I
Okay.
don't think the
All right,
city.
so we're good.
No,
We're
but
we're
but no, but
we're
these
good.
these these fungi from the plant, they get into insects. I'm sorry, I'm misrepresenting it. They enter insects' brains, whether it's what
This is
is
not the mushroom people are using to microdose or do any of that, right?
no, these are like these. They're called cordyceps fungi mushrooms, and they have a virus they contain, and they get into living insects of all
I'm
kinds.
gonna have to look this up.
Yeah, they get into. And they have a video of it. You can see it on Discovery Channel. And you see the cordyceps fungi. It gets into the animal's brain, the integrate, and start controlling them like zombies, and it makes them do erratic stuff. Makes them eat other insects. It
It
controls
turns
them.
like a parasite. It turns into a
It's a
parasite.
parasite, and it turns into a zombie parasite, and it controls them
Okay.
until it destroys its colony. Now, again, in real life, just like the show, but in real life, because this is art imitating potential life. Historically,
Potential.
historically, in our global history, we had a cool enough climate where those cordyceps and the virus it contains can affect us humans because we are 98.6% in our body as far as the
Water.
degrees, water, and the degrees are like the temperatures, whatever. Because of our natural body temperature and the planet's cooling, they as a host can't survive in us. But the theory is the world and the planet, due to pollution and global warming and climate change, is getting warmer and warmer every year. Dramatic numbers are increasing in real life. And in the show, that dramatic change over years allows the fungi to adapt to warmer climates to prepare itself for
It
liver,
evolves.
but it evolves to liver, fleshier hosts.
Okay.
So it's a creepy game slash show. We're like, we need to save this planet. We need to save this planet. We need more winters. We need to cool this planet down because,
Winter, more winter, really?
but yeah, damn, what was the question? I rambled. The question was,
Mario Kart.
yeah, I guess Yoshi. I guess Yoshi or Mario. I never liked Wario. Wario's a weirdo. Why would
I
you?
feel like Bowser, Wario, all of those were too slow.
Bowser is too slow. Bowser's an asshole. He has no
They're
redeemable
just
quality.
slow.
Bowser is a laughing asshole. And on top of that, mother's like, Miss Peach, why the hell you keep getting captured every year by Bowser? What's up with you? Where are you hanging out? But yeah, I'd say Yoshi. Yoshi's fly. Yoshi's fly. He's dope. He's cool. Damn, I feel like I owe you one now. Hold on, because you over here studying, going through questions. You over here studying.
Oh my god. Do you believe in ghosts?
What number is that?
7. I'm not making these up, Mike. These
I know, I
exist.
know. I like to read it too. So make sure you're not telling a little fib.
No, that I'm not making up questions.
Yeah, right. Like what size shoe are you? What number is that? I would like to say no. I would like to say that. Like, nah, I don't. Lights are off and like I got like, you know, on a spooky night, go from one part of the house to another. I might tiptoe a little faster, like, oh, hold up. like, like, hold up.
All right. Yeah, don't tell me you're the ones that can't see Annabelle and the Exorcist
No.
and the
Oh
Chuckies without
no.
hiding.
I'm
The
not a
Sixth Sense is hot. So that's a good movie.
yeah. I'm not afraid of ghosts per se. I don't think I am, but
So you see one?
until I see one, right? But you know what? My daughter is 9 years old, and for the last 3, 4 years, I've gotten her into a nostalgic thing where like she watches sometimes with me old school like Nickelodeon Snick shows. So she'll watch with me. Are you pretty?
Like Goosebumps?
We've toured through old school
I
Goosebumps.
love
Yeah,
Goosebumps.
and I and
They
I
don't
go
make them like that
and they
anymore.
don't. And I used to read Goosebumps too. So between reading it and also watching the show, that was always fly with me. In fact, Disney Plus of 2, 3 years ago, they made a updated version of Goosebumps. It was fly.
Mhm.
It was dope.
I know, and I thought they were gonna come out with another season. They didn't come out
They
with
didn't.
another
They
season after
didn't.
that.
It was quality. I was like, this is fly.
It was
So
good.
it was very good. So I'm into scary stories, but I don't know if I believe in ghosts. I don't know. One time in my old apartment, I lived in Pelham Parkway way back when, felt like I saw an image by my bedroom door, and my door slammed shut. I was like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "Hello," and then nobody responded. So who knows? I'm not mad at ghosts though. If it exists, I feel bad if a ghost approached me. I'm like, "Damn, why are you stuck? You should be up there, or down there. Like, why are you here?" You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel like it can exist.
Think so?
Have I ever personally seen one? No. Would I be inclined to see? I would love to see one. So if
Really?
there are any, please come visit me anytime, all day, anytime. I feel like why not? There's so many other things in the world unexplained. Ghost is like the least of it.
I feel like I would annoy ghosts. Like if a ghost came and try to spook me or haunt me, I'd be like, "Yo, what's death like? Yo, is God real? Yo, what about like can you fly for real?" I feel like I would have so many questions. All right, I'm done. I'm out of here. You know?
Dude, you're right. It'll be like a Casper situation.
Yeah,
Like, can
yeah.
you just tell me everything?
Just tell me everything, dude. What happened next? Who was she? You know, who
All right,
killed
I
you?
have the perfect one to end your questions. You
Okay,
ready?
I am ready for your question.
If you could create your own podcast, what would it be?
If I could create my own podcast, what happened?
Yeah,
What the hell?
duh!
Yeah, I already have one. And this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. I want to connect with people who are open to share and open to experience life and document their life with me. So I could. I this is it. But I will say this though. I will say this though. I do have a separate idea I wish I could do about podcasts where I could dedicate like with hyper focus dedicate each episode to a piece of media with somebody, whether it's a book, a song or album, a movie, film, a Broadway play, whatever, art piece, and just really hash it out with somebody over it. Just hash it out. Their opinion versus mine, how they interpret it, how I did. I brought up I brought up Vanilla Sky earlier. I did a Vanilla Sky episode with my friend Jen, one of the early episodes. And the whole idea of the episode was we both watched Vanilla Sky previously, and then we hashed it out. All what she saw, what I saw, the differences.
So,
Um,
I have something like that with my friends.
no kidding.
We do like a monthly movie club, and we'll see like different documentaries, different movies, and we'll literally be on a video call for probably like 5 hours. I think the most we've ever done is like probably 7, 8 hours just talking. We'll pick like 3 shows and we're literally dissecting the shows and just talking about what we saw, our own interpretations of it. So I can see that. That's something
Yeah,
different.
that's definitely me. And I shout out to you and your friends for having that club to do that because like I said, it's a great way to offer perspective. People get to see how you view things versus them, and it gives great insight into a person's intellect and ideas. So I enjoy that more overall. I do enjoy that. I grew up with a dad who's a musician also, so he had the presence of mind and the humility to like we were to Tower Records together, Tower Records to buy
Hmm.
albums. He would question me on the album I'm buying. Why are you buying this album? Well, and I'm telling, okay, well, this person says this sometimes. He says that. It's the lyrics that he wrote. It's what it means. This is the metaphor, the entendre. And he would listen to me. He would like take it in, like, okay, whatever. And I respected that he had the humility to do that. So I'm all about experiencing experiences with people and then dissecting it from their point of view versus mine. Even because I know it's hard. That's a big number one hard.
Relive one day.
If you could relive one day of your life, which day would it be? That's such a heavy ass question. That's such,
It would probably be 13th birthday
and why is that?
because it ended up causing a domino effect in my life.
Not early in
Yeah,
life. That early in life.
that early in life. That's when my mom and my stepdad ended up breaking up and she left. Like he left Rockland, we ended up selling the house, ended up coming back into the city. If I would be able to relive one moment, it would be to change the outcome of that particular day.
Do you think you had the power to have an effect on what your parents went through?
Knowing what I know now, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
I could have done like I probably wouldn't have been able to stop it, maybe prolong it a little bit longer until I would have been at least out of in college, right? Like I feel like that time frame, me coming back into the city just kind of put me like exposed me a little bit more opposed to being in Rockland where was I going?
mhm.
Home, school, the mall. I would have ended up going to Oneonta State. My life would have probably took a whole different course. And I love my kids and I love my life now but I think it would have ultimately changed so many other lives that one day.
Man, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that, and I wonder. And I've had those bouts as well early in my life. I'm like, where I felt like I had more of a part to play in things when I in my youth, in my adolescence. But I have to ask myself, and I ask you, you don't think it'd be a little not harsh, maybe not harsh, but you don't feel like you're putting too much responsibility on yourself for how adults move?
I think I'm very opinionated and I've been opinionated forever.
Hmm.
Maybe not so much as a kid, but I feel like if I would have been the version of myself I am now, that I question everything, maybe my mom would have thought things a little bit more,
Hmm.
right? If we voiced our opinions. I feel like as children, then we didn't really have a lot of say. It's more like things were done, that was it, deal with it. Unlike how we're parenting, they were like, "How do you feel? Are you okay? Do you want to
Hmm.
go here?
Right,
Do you
right.
want to do this?" I feel like I'm not trying to say that I had all this power, but I feel like if I would have voiced it, if I would have said something or like noticed that something wasn't moving the right way,
Mhm.
maybe that would have made her like, "Oh wait, this is my kid. I shouldn't be acting this way."
Do you still carry this burden you feel to this day, or
Not really. Just thinking about it in terms of a time that I would change. Like I've been a straight A student my whole life. I'm not gonna go back to worry about a school grade. So I don't know. I think that one time point might have changed a lot, not just for myself, but like my brothers. And I think it might have been different. Who knows? Maybe in the multiverse, there's a different version of me living out that life.
And I hope that multiverse exists. I'm glad you said that because I be sometimes wondering and hoping that our multiverse self made better choices. Because I'm like, fuck, if I had made that choice, I would have went this way. And I had those moments too, those doubts.
Wait, how about you? What's your moment of going back in time?
Well, did I ever tell you the dream I had about God coming to see me in my dream about my life? Well, real quick, before I answer this question, I'll say this. A year or two ago, maybe 3 years ago, I had a dream, a very powerful dream. And I really remember dreams. I always forget dreams right afterwards. But this dream I still remember where I am who I am. I'm late 30s, husband, 3 kids, bald head.
You
And
gonna get hair? No hair, no hair.
well, no, not even my dreams. I can't again. I'm still depressed. So God approaches me and he's like, listen, he's like, you're doing a good job, you're doing the best you can. But I have an opportunity for you. The opportunity is I will allow you to go back to middle school, start again from 98, 97, 98. I'll allow you to go back to middle school, 96, 97. I'll allow you to go back to middle school and redo your life, the middle school on over again. With the current knowledge you now possess, make things right. That time you didn't stay after late for class to get an extra grade, you can do it now. That
I'm making iPhones. I'm making iPhones.
right. Well, yeah, but the spirit, yeah, right. I'm gambling on the Super Bowls, every one. Uh, yeah, no, but he was like God, he or she, or whatever God is, was speaking to me from a more like a spiritual sense. Like, I will allow you to rectify some things in your life, and also experience things like that you didn't try out to, whether out of insecurities, whether out of fear, or whether out of like just like second guessing yourself. I'll allow you to go back and truly do whatever you want, get it out your system as far as a young man as adolescence learning life. The girl you rejected immaturely, I'll allow you to go back and make things right. The girl you wasted time on, I'll allow you to leave her be earlier than you should have, earlier than you did. All the things that you want to do correctly, I'll allow you to make the perfect moves, that'll satisfy your soul. But the flip side to that is you won't have Lauren, you won't have Charlie, you won't have Vessi, you won't have this life you have now. Your girls won't exist because you're making a new life now,
Different choices.
different choices, which goes back to Vanilla Sky. Is a nice quote, Vanilla Sky, where one character says to David, the main character, he says, David, consequences. And, choices matter. And in my dream, I remember saying to myself in my dream, I can't live a life knowing that Lauren existed. And she'll just be like this faint memory now in my brain while I'm out clubbing with $1 million in my pocket. You know what I
I
mean?
don't know. I don't know. Oh my God.
It's it would gnaw at me. It would like, no,
Of course.
this sweet soul, someone that ether existed, somewhere out there. I erased her almost by not following through. I can't. So I said, yo, thanks. I remember telling my God in the dream, thanks, but I'll just write this out. If you were there like 20 years ago, I say, all right, I'll hear you out. But you came too late. No, no, no. I know Laura now. You know
I
what I
can
mean?
see that. It's like that with the kids.
Yeah,
It's like the little things.
yeah. I
It's the
know
little
them.
things like that
Yeah,
get you. Not when they get you mad and you
yeah,
want to
no,
kill them and you want to get the air, blow air at them.
yeah.
It's the little things.
I know them now. I know them. So if I know them, how can I ever like go against them?
Unknow them.
I'll know them. No, can't do it. So that was my thing. And that just shows, I guess, how valuable they are in the long run. I'm like, damn, these little assholes are still, I guess they're valuable to me.
Uh,
That was dope. That was great. That lasted way longer than I thought it would. Wow. Okay. So this redo turned out to be turned out to be dope. Thank you for sharing about your grandmother or your great aunt or your great aunt.
My grandma. No,
Your
that's
grandma,
my
your grandma,
grandma.
your grandma, your grandmother, and all that you shared with me tonight. That was very special. Very
No, thank you.
fun. It was pretty fun. We didn't talk about soul ties, but that's another time.
No, no, no. You're gonna finish your soul tie story to me right now.
This is what I'll say about soul ties. This is what I'll say. I learned early in life when it came to dating and courting women that when a woman says to you, "It's okay, we'll just be friends. It's okay. It won't mean much. And I just want to be there for you." That is a goddamn lie. And not a lie like in a nefarious way where they mean it to burn you. really it's a lie to themselves. And I had to learn that, sex is energy, it's spiritual. I've always respected sex. I've always had. Hence why I probably didn't was not the guy. That's maybe why I was swerving life. Because I'm swerving because this energy is not feeding me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I can see that,
It's not
especially
feeding
in
me.
certain environments.
Yeah, it's not feeding me. And I never enjoyed whether in the locker room in junior high school or high school. I've never enjoyed the just the frivolous talk about sex amongst guys. I always felt it was too crass. I always felt like it was lowbrow, and like I always felt like I saw boys talking, not men talking. You
Okay.
know, and once you start dating in your late teens or your teens or early 20s, if you try your best to have some empathy, you realize that sex is powerful. And I had to learn through a few people that like you can't play with people's hearts, you can't waste folks' time, and you also can't do too well in the sack with certain women because
They turn obsessed. They get obsessed.
have you ever dated a Puerto Rican woman? Like
No, but I've heard.
it's like it's like it's like, Entourage, HBO, shout out to HBO. You got the main character, Vincent Chase. He goes, never be her first, never be her last. And that is some real shit. Never be her first and never be her last.
Okay.
Because you don't want to have that unless you're ready to really commit to someone, you don't want to have that responsibility of like being a super impressionable person on someone's life because you didn't respect their connection with sex or their connection with lovemaking or their
So
connection
you think that two people can have two different connections?
can't or can. You're saying can?
Can.
Yeah, and if by two, if by two you mean one person truly like in the moment absent or in the moment, but usually men, filling a void in their own heart and they're feeling it through the act of sex, that is a loose connection if you want to call it a connection. But that I agree with. I don't agree with the idea that like in unpopular opinion that I don't think you can be in love with two different people at the same time. I don't think so. I think you can love two people at the same time, but there's usually somebody you really like love more or are in love with, or they're irresistible. Nowadays, Alba, I don't know how it is in your social circle or in your peer areas, like peer groups,
Uh,
but people today are trying to convince me. I don't know how you feel about this, but they're
Go
trying to
ahead.
they're trying to convince me that monogamy is unnatural and being like polyamorous or being
Mike, I learned that when I was like my freshman year of college. Are you kidding me?
here's why I disagree. I think monogamy is natural. You wanna know why?
Go ahead. Why?
The reason why I think monogamy is ultimately natural, ultimately, don't get twisted. We all love Pringles, and we all can't have just one. I know that, and we all have to have one or more than one Oreo. Of course, I know that. I know that.
At your core, you
Yeah, yeah.
understand
But
this.
what I do know also is that like we all believe in monogamy. You wanna know why? Because usually there's somebody in your life that you wouldn't want to share with anybody else. Usually there's somebody in your life that is near and dear to you or were near and dear to you that you can say to yourself, "Oh, yeah, I can love two people at the same time. I can hang out with person A on Friday and have a great love story with them, and then on Sunday with person C and have a great love story and love them
I don't
equally."
think that's love. That's a selfishness.
And that's what I'm saying.
It's like if you're sitting here, you're gonna tell me, "Let me get your beats, Alba." I'm gonna look at you like, "What? No, you can use something else." Or like, "Hey, let me get your laptop." What? Anything electronic in my house, Mike, I do not share. I have my own switch, Mike.
I
My
agree.
own switch. I do not share electronics. There are things that I have a hard line. I am not sharing electronics.
And if you won't share your electronics, then I don't.
So
Go ahead. Go
but.
ahead. Go
So
ahead.
this was my thing because we did it in class and we spoke about it.
Okay.
So you know how everyone has love languages, right?
Sure.
I feel that there may be someone for each one of your love languages, right? I'm not saying to get with 5 people, definitely not.
Mhm.
But I do think that there's no way that one person can meet all your needs, right?
Mhm.
You can have a relationship with one person, a sexual relationship with your spouse, but you can have a best friend, right? Your spouse, it fills one need. Your best friend may fill another need. So they might be different levels of relationships that make you not Like, doesn't mean that you're gonna be with these other people, but the fact that you're able to have different relationships with other people means that you are not monogamous.
But in that context, as long as those other relationships are platonic in nature, there's love there. But it's
Yeah.
and it's probably infatuation, maybe, not just love, but infatuation there. I don't know if that translates to being non-monogamous. Maybe it does, maybe.
It just depends, right? It's all up to interpretation. Now, this is my thing. Am I good? Like, I know that there are people that have what
Throuples?
throuples, whatever it's called. What can I do that? Oh, definitely not.
Right.
Because for you to be able to do that, you have to be open to other females. I am not interested in females.
No, me neither.
Can I
Neither is
acknowledge
no.
that a female is beautiful? And of course, am I gonna sit here and try to have someone kiss me and touch? And I can't do that.
No.
Is my partner gonna be with two other men? That's not happening.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So if you, I bet you'd be okay with sister wives,
Uh,
okay, right?
what
Because
I
that's the difference, right? Sister wives, brother husbands, whatever it is, it's different, right? Like, I think at the end of the day, I feel like not one person can meet all our needs.
I know that. I know that.
There's no way. There's no
No,
way.
I know that. I know that, and I understand that people are so complex where no one person is gonna be a soulmate. I don't believe in soulmates. Chris Rock again has that joke where he says, "There's no one woman in your life that'll love Seinfeld and Wu-Tang." Like, relax. Like, you'll never meet someone truly like you. Everybody's different, unique. You
But not
know?
just that, Mike. Let's think about it too, right? On a different perspective. You cannot sit here and tell me that you cannot acknowledge another beautiful female,
Can it
right?
not
Some people, the simple fact that you may think someone is hot, someone is cute, someone is that's already being unfaithful.
To some people, maybe. To some people, maybe, and I would see that too. Like, I had a friend of mine from Houston, Texas, years ago, like 15 years ago. There, when she was single, we were always platonic, always. But when she was single, she felt more comfortable emailing me and catching up with me. When she was with a guy, oh, we can't talk for a while. I'm like, why? What happened? Oh, I have a boyfriend now. And I'm like, yo, we don't say nothing crazy. And I don't look at you that way. And
Yeah.
you wear too much makeup. What are we doing? But I guess in her culture, Southern woman in Texas, there's a cultural context there where they look at it differently. So I had to say to myself, all right, different from her. But I get it. I get it. I know for me, I have a very basic way of looking at monogamy. I really am usually thinking of just like actual romantic interests or romantic partners. And for that, even with pretty women or beautiful women, all my life, since middle school on, I knew a girl who was pretty, but then I know a girl who I was attracted to. And the pretty girl may fit a certain standard that's like to the masses, beautiful and everyone should be attracted to. But just because she was pretty doesn't mean, I never looked at J Lo as I gotta have a date with her. I can acknowledge J Lo's a pretty looking woman. She's nice, nice body. Shout out to her. But I didn't lust for her. For me, attraction is gonna sound very corny, but bear with me. For me, I knew I was attracted to a woman all my life when I saw something in her eye. Her eyes would catch me. If you were either catch me with your eyes or with your smile. I don't care how you present yourself. It's just something was just indescribable. That's why I agree with the notion that love at first sight. And usually you hear love at first sight, that phrase, or that notion of love at first sight, usually it's from a male perspective. A lot of times with us men, some of us men, we have this chemical thing where we'll see a certain woman and we can't explain it yet, but we know I gotta talk to her. I gotta
The
stop.
pheromones, no?
Huh?
Pheromones, no?
I don't know what it is, but I can tell you it's absolutely true. There's women you meet in the world where you're like, hold on. What's her name? Who's her friend? Can I talk to her? Like, whatever. Like, what's her name? Or you see her in the street and you feel compelled to talk to her even though you're scared to. That has happened in my life growing up. I remember to this day me and my wife's first date. 'Cause we met online. We met online on Twitter of all places. But I remember her first outfit when I went to go pick her up the first date. To this day, I still remember it. Like the black and green top, spandex bottom. Her hair was down curly, and she had flats on. And I remember as she was walking down the steps, like this is gonna be a while. This next phase of my life is gonna be a while. It's gonna it's
The
gonna it's gonna take up time in my life now because I know I won't let this go. This won't be a one time. This won't be a one time thing. So and then maybe like a few weeks later, we were out like on the east side somewhere on Jackson Holes to get a burger, and she met me after her work shift on a Saturday. Beautiful day outside, and she had like a rainbow colorful top. It's summertime or late spring, and her hair's curly again, and like, blue jeans. She had this certain bounce to her, this certain twinkle where it's like, yeah, I have to be here for a while. I have to investigate this. I have to see this through. I have to
I
see this
love that.
through. Good Will Hunting is a perfect example with Matt, not Matt, yeah, Matt Damon, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Good Will Hunting with Robin Williams. But Matt Damon is a troubled youth in Boston who has anger issues.
I saw that movie.
Lisa,
It's a really good
and
movie.
it's a true thing where Robin Williams he explains about he's talking about his wife who died of cancer. He was saying he had the opportunity to go
Mhm.
to a Boston Celtics Game 7 World Series. He had tickets, but instead he met a girl at the bar that night. And that game was like, "You at that game? You at that game? So what happened?" And he was like, "I don't know. I stayed with the girl at the bar." "How could you do that?" And he was like,
Mhm.
I had to go see about a girl." And most men have a moment where they say to their boys, "I had to go see about a girl."
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can see that.
I had to go see about a girl. All guys have had that moment where like, "You know what, guys? I gotta go see about this girl. I'll see when I see you, but I gotta choose this life over hanging out in a hotel room drinking vodka, with guys only."
Dude, they really got you with this hotel room and vodka.
Yeah, it was like, it's not that serious, guys. I like estrogen around me. They smell better at the very least. But anyway, that's our time. That's our time. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you, Mike.
Hope
Always a pleasure.
always a pleasure. Like to stay online for the vocals, afterwards, keep the thing on. But I'll see you when I see you. Al. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here.
Bye. Have a good night.